You already know what time it is. It's that Hickerbilly shit.
Hickerbilly shit. We just out here in the sticks. On some fuck around and find out if you wanna run your lips. Hickerbilly shit. We just vibing in the mix. Blowing on that top shelf. Nothing less than a zip.
Smoke some weed, boy.
Hickerbilly shit. We just out here in the sticks. On some fuck around and find out if you wanna run your lips.
Don't do it.
Hickerbilly shit. We just vibing in the mix. Blowing on that top shelf. Nothing less than a zip. HB shit, man, they never saw us coming. Just a bunch of no shit, taking rowdy country bumpkin. We speaking real loud for the folks who come from nothing. Putting fakes in their place, calling out that country bluffing. If you ain't really real, then you really gotta go. If you know, then you know. If you don't know, you won't. Cause knowledge ain't wisdom, man, that requires soul. Spread the light, kill the dark, that's the #1 goal. Can't know these fake country boys hang with the Hickerbillies. Out here stuck in first gear while we laughing, riding wheelies. Hickerbilly shit, we just out here in the sticks. On some fuck around and find out if you wanna run your lips. Hickerbilly shit, we just vibing in the mix. Blowing on that top shelf, nothing less than a zip.
Smoke some weed, boy.
Hickerbilly shit, we just out here in the sticks. On some fuck around and find out if you wanna run your lips.
Don't do it.
Hickerbilly shit, we just vibing in the mix. Blowing on that top
Hickerbilly
shelf,
shit.
nothing less than a zip.
I keep a bag of the sticky icky. Come on, you can hit it with me. I kick it with Hickerbilly for real, so don't get it twisted. I don't give a fuck about recognition for Jack Rabbit. I'm here for the home team. Let's get to the bag, damn it. I feel like I was born to do it. I spit the flame in these verses, they keep pouring through me. I know the game, I was born and raised up in the bricks. I felt the pain, Tennessee will be a crucifix. And there I hang on that Hickerbilly shit.
We just out here in the sticks. On some fuck around and find out if you wanna run your lips. Hickerbilly shit, we just vibing in the mix. Blowing on that top shelf, nothing less than a zip.
Smoke some weed, boy.
Hickerbilly shit, we just out here in the sticks. On some fuck around and find out if you wanna run your lips.
Don't do it.
Hickerbilly shit, we just vibing in the mix. Blowing on that top
Hickerbilly
shelf,
shit.
nothing less than a zip.
You can fuck around and find out about the Hickerbilly shit the wrong way. We been posted up in the woods with some sticks, yeah, bitch, like all day. And we don't care about what you say, that jibber jabber, it don't really matter. All that bro talk, it's just pitter patter. About to raise the bar, you better get a ladder. We on it, blasting off straight to the top. Don't give a fuck, you could like it or not. Every day out here we punching the clock. Out in the country, nobody's in charge. Yeah, we really out here on a music making mission. If you're really looking for me, then you can find me fishing. We on that Hickerbilly shit.
We just out here in the sticks. On some fuck around and find out if you wanna run your lips. Hickerbilly shit, we just vibing in the mix. Blowing on that top shelf, nothing less than a zip.
Smoke some weed, boy.
Hickerbilly shit, we just out here in the sticks. On some fuck around and find out if you wanna run your lips.
Don't do it.
Hickerbilly shit, we just vibing in the mix. Blowing on that top
Hickerbilly
shelf,
shit.
nothing less than a zip.
That's that Hickerbilly shit, motherfuckers. Country rap better watch out. We coming out the woods to get ya.
Better watch out for them damn leaf pop.
Y'all probably couldn't hear me very well for a second. Said watch out for them damn leaf piles. What's going on, everybody? It's that motherfucking Hickerbilly shit. Have a little bit of fun tonight. Do something a little different. See Josh Tail over there. HB shit. Kinfolk. Street soldiers. Already know. Chandelier, how you doing? HB shit in the house. My brother Farrell over there. I see Farrell. Good to see you tonight, Farrell. Although I was talking to you earlier, but it's all good. Chandelier, that's family right there. What's up, Chandelier? Good to see you. Got to go get firewood, so I'll be back. I think you're back by now. British Bulldog, always good to see you. And you know what I appreciate about British Bulldog? British Bulldog don't let other people influence their opinion. I don't know if it's a male or a female. I'm sorry. I've never asked. But British Bulldog has their own opinion regardless. And they stay true to themselves in a polite way and don't let other people influence them and change their opinion and so on. And I respect that, man. Shout out British Bulldog. I think that's cool shit. Well, Bubba Trippy in the house. Good to see you, Trippy. That's my motherfucking bro right there. That's right, Shanda. Fuck Dearborn. Night works. Yeah, if y'all didn't see last night, man, Hickerbilly was celebrating his birthday, and he was getting a little wild, man. He was a little intoxicated, allegedly. and it was a good time, man. I jumped in with him for a little bit and was bullshitting with him. And it was late, dude. It's like 3 a.m. And there was like 5 people watching. And Hickerbilly's like, there's only 5 people watching. Okay, what's this? And he just ended it. Just shut it down, bro. He was being wild. But then he started it up again. Motherfucker's crazy. Yeah, we had a good time, man. Nightworks was on there with us. And this girl, I think her name was Sasha. It's from Australia as well. She was on there with us. We had a good time, man. I already said what's up to Josh. Great White Wolf in the house. Good to see Great White Wolf, as always. Just checked. Mail, definitely. I'm glad you checked, bro. You got to be sure about things like that. You know what I mean? I'm glad you checked. Jackrabbit, he'll be there. He'll be here as soon as he can. I think he's talking about iLuck. I think iLuck's going to join us here in a little bit, man. He is a real intellectual type of guy, and I like his conversation and sometimes debate on certain topics and shit. So I feel like he could definitely have a good conversation with what we got to talk about tonight. Of course, like I mentioned earlier, Hickerbilly celebrated a little bit yesterday. So I told him to take the night off. I don't know if he's going to hop in and holler at us or not, but I told him to just relax and enjoy himself, man. Spend time with family. Oh, shit. My motherfucking brother from another mother from fucking what they call it? I guess our northern neighbors, what they call it. But good to see you, Slayback. That's my boy right there. He's good people. Y'all make sure you show Slayback some love. Very intelligent individual himself. He's a smart kid, man. I call him a kid. He's not a kid, but he's a kid to me because I'm an old man. But I like Slayback, man. He's good people. Slayback's cool as shit. Fucking Leroy coming through with the 2-bomb. He said Trump 2028. Breaking all the rules. What's up, Leroy? Good to see you, bro. And of course, my sister from another mister. Allie. Good to see you, Allie. Long time supporter, man. Super cool chick. Kind of bugged me the other day. I saw her in a different chat and somebody was being kind of rude to her, but she handled it. So I didn't have to say nothing. I just let it be. I didn't want to cause no more trouble worse than it already was. Let Allie do her thing, and she took care of it, man. You got to respect a strong individual that don't just fucking let people break them and make them cry and shit. She's like, what? Okay, whatever. That's it. 41-year-old kid. Damn, you the same age as me, Slayback. You don't look like it at all, bro. You look a lot younger than what you fucking old you are. That's for damn sure. You aged very well, my friend. Very well. You're definitely not a kid. I would have never guessed 41. I thought you was mid-20s, late 20s, somewhere around there. Damn, bro, you doing good for yourself. Hell yeah.
Mama don't pray for my success anymore. Yeah, but mama can't help but be a whore. Losing my mind, I just can't seem to sleep. Yeah, my mama is a town Jezebel. And then I fell, this bitch burned it to the ground. Yeah, my soul died and my support left town. The walls crumbled and all my damn vices found out. Lord, it all goes back to mama. And then I fell, she drained all of my bank accounts. Yeah, my soul died and my support left town. The walls crumbled and all my damn I can't stand to be alone. I wonder if she is fucking Dagburn. They all used to cheer for me. Yeah, back before mama traded me for money. But now her story's changed, and no one can believe me, 'cause mama fucked everyone in Tennessee, including me. And then I fell, my career had burned to the ground. Yeah, my soul died and my support left town. The walls fell down and all my vices found out. Lord, it all goes back to mama. And then I fell and my career had burned to the ground. Yeah, my soul died and all my support left town. The walls fell down and all my vices found out. Lord, it all goes back to mama.
Definitely my favorite Rusty Truck song to date. That man's doing great over there with the AI shit. And Slayback, yeah, we could talk a little bit of shit, my friend. I did send you the link, and whenever you're ready, hell, I can't talk. I need some help. Whenever you're ready, bro, you can hop on in. Jackrabbit Slim, what did you think of my Rusty Rabbit suggestion? Yeah, that shit was funny, man. I guess Slayback and Rusty was talking about starting a true crime channel. It was a joke, of course, and Slayback wasn't going to be his co-host, and I was like, Rusty, I'll be your co-host, buddy. I got you back. He said, we might be able to do something together, but it ain't gonna be no true crime shit. And I don't blame him, man. I would never, ever do some of that bullshit. That shit is terrible. But I did see that, Allie. That shit was funny, man. Slayback is another one that is funny as fuck in the chats. Yeah, Slayback cracks me up, man. Heck yeah, get your, is that a shark? Oh, it's, never mind. Get your ass up there. Can't see, Allie. I'm sorry. Deb in the house. How you doing, Deb? Good to see you, Deb. Deb's always good people. Prayers for our Banjo fam. He lost his mother. Yeah, I heard about that, man. Prayers for Banjo's mama. Terrible stuff. Slayback said, bet, let me get home and put these squirt guns away, and I will hit that link. I guess he's been out at the water park today. You know, it's what we do in the summertime. The bassist from my favorite ever band made massive influences on the younger me passed last week. I know you guys won't know him, but R.I.P. Manny from Stone Roses. Now, British Bulldog, I never heard of Stone Roses, but R.I.P. Manny for sure. Didn't know his mama was sick. Well, I mean, would you tell everybody? I don't think he necessarily broadcast that to a bunch of people for obvious reasons. Number one is a private family thing, but also he don't want to be appearing to try to get sympathy off of the suffering of his mother or loved ones. So he handled it correctly. You know, I respect that. It's good shit. That's right. Pray for him, man. Prayers for Banjo. Now, I don't think very many people knew it all, Shanda, to be honest with you, man. Like I said, that's probably something that he'd keep close to his chest, you know. This one of them things is what it is. One of them things, man. I don't see that song in here. Pretty sure I got it, though. I'll add that shit. There's a banjo song that I like a whole lot. And I'm going to play it. I'm pretty sure I got it. Yep, I do have it. I have it twice, as a matter of fact. I guess he sent it to me twice. I downloaded it twice. But speaking of Banjo Cliff, man, the fact that he lost his mama and all that, I got a song that I was going to play for him. Well, it ain't his song, mama, but that's a good one too, Shanda. See, you better at this than I am. You want the link? I'll let you take over. You can do this. It is a good choice, but I had a different one in mind.
Billy, still on the block with them real hitters. Rocket Timberlands, Tommy Hilfiger. I still got the juice, no clear liquor. My grandpa gone, he's still with us. My grandma gone, she still visits. I can hear her saying, "On boy, get it. You got them babies, go and make a living. Better take care of that family, boy. Well, you got a gift, go ahead and give it. It won't be handed to you, no 3 wishes. Gotta earn your keep, be about your business. And your grandpa loves you, he's up here fishing. Take care of your mama, she the reason you living. Make that music, boy, stay up out of prison. Stay home with your wife and them homemade biscuits, hey. Yeah, because life gets real. You better fall down, better get up the hill. Better stay out of trouble, boy, you better chill. You got hurt, but you had time to heal. Witness stuff that you really shouldn't. You had a hard life, but you kept on pushing. Everything that you need is right in your face. I don't understand why you keep on
been on the same block, I've been in the same town. Oh, I've been that same guy. Yeah, I kinda stuck around. I'm still right here in the hollers. That boy became a father. I'm still chasing that old dollar. Working hard, that old blue collar. On the same block, I've been in the same town. Oh, I've been that same guy. Yeah, I kinda stuck around. I'm still right here in the hollers. I'm living like my grandfather. We've been keeping to ourselves. Yeah, we don't like to be bothered.
I'm still the same, but I'm definitely different than who I was. I've been broken so much I forget how to trust. I stayed to myself, I'm looking for no love. Hey, I'm still right here, thank the Lord above. I've been blessed to the max, yeah, I can't doubt it. And we all here till we turn to dust. When it goes south, can't do much about it. No, so do the absolute best you can. Gotta face the world, boy, be a man. You can do it yourself, you don't need no hand. Keep that tunnel vision, stick to the plan. Yeah, you doing good, yeah, you doing great. You the best father that I wish I had. Yeah, them little babies looking up to you. Make the best of it the little time you have. I've been holding all of this in. I've been feeling a little hopeless. Yeah, I've been carrying this burden on my shoulders. Look, I don't know how to talk about things without me exploding.
I've been on the same block, I've been in the same town. Oh, I've been that same guy. Yeah, I kinda stuck around. I'm still right here in them hollers. That boy became a father. I'm still chasing that old dollar. Working hard, that old blue collar. On the same block, I've been in the same town. Oh, I've been that same guy. Yeah, I kinda stuck around. I'm still right here in them hollers. I'm living like my grandfather. We've been keeping to ourselves. Yeah, we don't like to be bothered.
Yeah, man. That was for Banjo's mama, man. Hate to see anybody go through that. I'm a little bit older, but I lost my mother as well back in 2003. Crazy thing is, my mom was only 14 whenever she had me. She was 13 whenever she got pregnant. And I was born in 1982. So a teen mom and teen pregnancy was almost unheard of back then. And she did her best. But I say that to say this. For her to pass away in 2003, I was only 20, 21. I mean, she was only 34 years old when she passed away. And it was a big surprise, of course, and crazy little story I might tell one day, but it was interesting how I found out about it, and it's definitely the work of God. Ain't no other way to describe it. But yeah, man, I can relate, bro. I lost my mama too, and I tell everybody every day, no matter if you and your mama don't get along at all, just tell her no that you love her. Tell her you love her. Let her know you love her. And that's what matters the most. The last time that I saw my mom, me and her were in a little bit of an argument, nothing big, but she did cry. And so I live with the fact that the last time I seen my mom, I made her cry. I learned a lesson from that, of course, and I never let shit hang out there like that anymore, But for sure, man, that ain't something that you want to live with. So I recommend everybody, if it's somebody you love and care about, just let them know. Regardless if y'all ain't getting along at all, just let them know you love them and you care about them, man. You regret it if you don't, or you couldn't regret it if you don't. Not that you would, but you could. Anyway, yeah, I know what it's like to lose a loved one, man. It kind of hit me a little bit harder, to be honest, when I lost my mama than when I lost my mom, just because I was a little closer to my mama. But nonetheless, got to respect that she tried her best, being 14 years old and having a kid, not knowing nothing about nothing, and making it work, man. Yeah, you got to respect that, Oh, Shanda, that's terrible, man. She said my mom is still here, but she doesn't remember me. Yeah, I definitely don't want to deal with that. Before I become a burden on my people and them have to sit there and watch me go through something like that, I would rather them just put me out of my misery, man. There's no coming back from that. And you might as well, it is what it is. That's my own personal choice anyway. I think I would rather blah, blah, blah. But, man, prayers for you, Shanda. I know that's not easy to deal with. That's tough. I like to think that too, British Bulldog. I like to think that too, man. For sure. And man, oh man, I eventually, it took me a while, but I eventually gave her something to be proud of too. That's for sure.
Say a prayer for me, 'cause I'm so far gone that I cannot see. My heart is drowning, my heart feels heavy, my heart is threatened by the gun in my hand. Say, oh, 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 somebody tell me.
Or somebody save me. It just happens to be the line, that famous line everybody talks about. My bad.
Slow down, 'cause this perfect feels like the outlaw in the mirror that tells me no lie. Praying, oh, 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 I don't wanna go. Listen to me praying now. Oh, oh,
kind of goes along with the theme. Shout out Trey Healy, man. Don't want to go. It's talking about how not ready to go to heaven yet, but you're looking forward to being there eventually. It's one of them things that the double-edged sword get torn between the two and shit, you know. It's a very deep, insightful meaning to a song, and he pulled it off tremendously. So good that at one point, Ryan Upchurch was going to make it a single on one of his albums, but didn't work out that way. Everything works out the way it's supposed to, though. Love that song by Trey Healy, man. Damn right. There ain't very many songs that Trey Healy got that I don't like, man. I definitely like more than I don't. Nobody hits a home run every time they step up to the plate. Let's just be honest here. But yeah, that man's got a lot of talent. Got no complaints from me at all. I reckon we can go ahead and get into a little bit of what we're going to talk about tonight. Interesting subject to me is remote viewing. I don't know if y'all ever heard of remote viewing before or know what it is. It's similar to an out-of-body experience, but basically there are people that were and are employed by our government and our military to see things that are not in front of you. And kind of the way it works, man, they like, you'll come into a room and you'll have someone that is your guide or whatever, and they'll put an envelope down on a freaking piece of paper, or envelope down on the table with a piece of paper in it, and you can't see what's in the envelope. You don't look in the envelope. They just say, tell me about what's in this envelope. And you may have some type of reference. And like one example would be, they asked him to tell him what this gentleman was looking at, and they gave him a picture of a guy he never met before, a guy he don't know, and all he had was a picture of him. And he sit down and drew a bridge with water going under it and shit, and that's exactly what the dude was looking at. And he just happened to be in London at the time, so out of all the places in London that he could have drawn or seen, he picked this little known bridge with some water going under it and shit. It was a little interesting, man. Oh shit, Courtney Lynn, what's up? How you doing tonight? Good to see you. Good to see you. And one of the first to do it was a gentleman named Joe McMoneagle. And Joe McMoneagle was remote viewer 1, number 1. Now they went around to a bunch of, because he was in the military, he was in the Army. And when he went with some of his buddies to go to the recruiting center, he visited every one of them, all the branches of the military. And when he went into the Army, he was one of the first ones he went into. Trey Gill, good to see you, Trey Gill. Thank you for coming through. One of the first ones that he went into was the Army. And they told him that he was basically overqualified and that he was too smart to be in the Army, and told him to get the hell out of there. And so he went to the other ones and went back to the Army later, and the guy was like, why do you want to be in the Army so bad? And he was like, well, you're the only one that didn't lie to me. You were the only one that told me the truth. And this is a young man, late teens, already got that kind of head on his shoulders to where he's telling people, you know, you're the only one that didn't lie to me, so I'm going to go with you. And he ended up being pretty successful in the Army, especially in intelligence. And he was very smart. And so the government had heard of a thing called remote viewing and heard of something like that. And they were afraid of other countries developing it before they did. And so they went around to all of their military and started asking for the most intelligent people in each platoon or barrack or whatever you want to call it, to where somebody that stood out always seemed to have the right answer and was always in the right place at the right time and had a hell of an instinct and was real sharp and things like that. And they ended up with like 1,500 people to start out with. And out of that 1,500, they kept 20% of them to narrow it down a little bit, and ended up with a top 6. And the only reason they ended up with 6 is because that's all the government would fund. And those 6, one of them ended up being Joe McMoneagle. And he was the first one to be successful at it and all that. the most high success rate of anybody that's ever done remote viewing and all that. But he could go in and sit down and see an envelope, and all it was in it was some kind of coordinates for GPS or whatever, latitude and longitude. And he wouldn't know what the coordinates is. He could just predict shit and tell shit and everything. And there's some pretty gate program. He now both went through it. It ties in. Yeah, for sure, man. For sure. Don't let me forget, Pharaoh. We'll definitely talk about that. But anyway, this is kind of an introduction to Mr. Joe McMoneagle.
How much money did they dump into this program?
We don't know exactly.
Now, that's not Joe yet. I'm not showing Joe McMoneagle yet, but this is a gentleman talking about Joe McMoneagle.
Joe personally told me over a lunch, millions. So more than one.
So the government put millions of dollars into this program. Millions. So they must have believed in it if they were willing to put millions of dollars in it.
Officially. I don't know how many millions, but it was very important for the United States to be able to investigate whether or not this had intelligence capabilities and what level of benefit that could be gleaned from investigating this type of because they started getting amazing viewings out of Joe right away. And it's like, okay, well, how many amazing LeBron James of consciousness are there?
See, he just referred to the gentleman as the LeBron James of consciousness. Tells you how special this guy is that we're about to talk about, man. He's something else.
To say, this person can sit in a room and tell me what's going on at a location and potential future events, because some of the remote viewers that the CIA used were able to produce the effects of
left, machine gun, yeah.
Right.
We're gonna
machine gun.
Yay! Tests that had been secret until the remote viewer said this is going to happen. Be able to figure out whether it was going to be a success or a failure, because some of them were failures. And all the intelligence turned out to be correct. And so they were super interested. Joe McMoneagle never missed the location of a nuclear sub in his entire career.
Never missed the location of a nuclear sub in his entire career. You can imagine how useful that would be. Now, I know this shit sounds crazy, but this is really what our government is, one of the tools that our government has at their disposal. This gentleman can tell them where these nuclear subs are, and they have a tactical strategic advantage over the opposing military, because this dude can sit in a room somewhere and tell them where all this shit is and correctly project it. And he never got it wrong one time when it come to, of course, only when it come to locating those subs. He never got it wrong.
Because he explains that there's a high level of entropy in a reactor for a sub, and that just glows like a big bright light in consciousness where those locations of those types of entropy events are.
So the nuclear reactors just glow and they're easy to find. And we'll get pretty deep into it, but whenever you're doing a remote viewing, especially when you are advanced enough to where you can leave your body and fucking literally go floating around looking at shit and all that, you see things from a different perspective, and it's basically all off of instinct, and you use a lot of your senses all at one time. We'll dig into that here in just a moment. But while you're there, something like a nuclear reactor would basically shine like a light in a tunnel, man. It would stand out and be easy to find, according to the gentleman that does it.
So if anyone ever needed to know, like they lost track of where a nuclear sub was for the Russians, they'd go into Joe's office and he goes, right here. And they'd check their sensors and boom, it would be there.
Well, since we're talking about nuclear subs and Joe McMoneagle, tell me the story.
Yeah. Well, the one that made everyone say.
And that's the thing, man. He says, I've done that, but it was under different circumstances. Yeah. Not very different, Josh. I know you were joking, but it's real shit, bro. It's not very different. And any human can do this with practice. Any human is capable of doing this. This is a skill that we have lost touch with over time as humans, where with evolution, civilization, things like that. It's kind of like wild animals losing their hunting and killer instinct from captivity and things like that. We have no idea what we are capable of as humans, and we have no idea of our full potential as humans. Please don't take this as my view or disprove, bro. I don't care what your opinion is, man. We're all allowed to have our own opinion. We talked about that a little bit. But anyway, what you're saying, but UK stopped this in 2002, termed it as pseudoscience, not real. British Bulldog, I'll say in the most polite way I know how. Your government is just as fucked up as mine, man, to be honest. And if you don't think that they're still utilizing this with all the success that they've got from it and everything, I don't know what to tell you, but it's damn sure a possibility. I can't say for sure that I know that the government and your government and our government and everybody else's government is using this, but I can say that it is definitely possible. And if they were doing that, it would be in their best interest to put out a bunch of information, misinformation, so to speak, saying that it's all pseudoscience and it ain't real and da-da-da-da-da. But there's a lot of people that give it credibility and say that it is real. And there's a lot of things that just can't be explained otherwise. And yeah, it's everybody has their own opinion, man. You know, thought about a product and came up on my next search. Weird as fuck. Yeah. Third eye open stuff, Pharaoh. That's right. Won't offend me. Yeah, I know it, man. I definitely ain't trying to offend you. That's for damn sure. For damn sure. We got the homie Motivated One-Legger in the house. Good to see you, sir. Good to see you. I'm glad you could join us.
Stood up and take notice and got him more funding for a large number of years was when there was a building that was identified by intelligence personnel that became the top priority for the National Security Council. It was the largest building under one roof in the world. And it was high in the Russian tundra near this large body of water. So they thought it might be a manufacturing facility for some type of military craft. And they weren't sure what it was. And everybody wanted to know what was going on inside the building because they had triple death wire fencing. In between all those, they had sentries with dogs, 24-hour site-to-site sentry circle around the property, trains coming in, dumping off raw materials 24/7, food coming in, food service for the people who were working inside the building, and no one knew what was going on inside the building.
So basically, it's a lot of compartmentalized information where you're working next to somebody that don't know what you're doing and you don't know what they're doing. And it's highly, highly secured, which means there's something serious going on there. There's something they're trying to hide, you know, and they want to find out what's going on in there. They need to figure it out. The judge was probably gay, Leroy. What's up, Rusty? Good to see you, buddy.
And so someone at the National Security Council meetings knew that they had a new psychic program down at Meade and sent the manila folder down to Fort Meade, and they handed it to Joe McMoneagle. The first thing they handed him was simply map coordinates. And they said, show us what you see here. And he came up with the building that they were concerned about. And he described the building, and they said, okay, you're on target. And then they gave him a picture of that building. And they said, tell us what's going on inside here. Now, the guys at the National Security Council and all the intelligence guys who were in the room came to the consensus that,
are you interested in?
Give me a second, but I figured it out. Rusty was talking about the judge that locked somebody up for saying that word. Makes sense, man. Makes sense. Definitely. Possibility.
It was going to be some kind of troop carrier that they could probably transport over to the ocean because it was 4 or 5 blocks away from the ocean, but it was short enough to where they could transport something of medium size over to the ocean to get it into the water. But that was their best guess. Joe McMoneagle was the only person who came up with the result. He dropped into the building and he started viewing this thing, and he viewed it over a number of days and came up with a drawing and an explanation and technical specifications for a brand new submarine. And he said, this is the biggest submarine in the world by far. It's 1.5 times bigger than the next biggest sub.
1.5 times bigger than the biggest known sub at that time. And not only that, but the way it's designed and everything is crazy. But he come in knowing the designs and specifications and certain details about it and shit just from this remote viewing, man.
This is the brand new classification of Russian sub. And he came up with a number of very unique characteristics for that sub. He said it's not a cylinder. It's a cylinder that looks like it's cut in half, spread out, and then a flat part welded on the top and the bottom. And the U.S. engineers looked at that later after he sent it, and he said, that's impossible. It'd be crushed at depth. You know, it's highly unlikely, et cetera. But then he added the specifications. It's got a special drive propulsion system that I don't want to say too much about. But it's also got canted launch tubes, which means it can fire nuclear missiles on the run without having to stop, which could give us about 20 minutes warning that we're going to lose 1,200 cities.
Only 20 minutes warning that we're going to lose 1,200 cities because it could shoot on the fly without having to stop. Kind of wild, man. Kind of wild. And that technology was unheard of at the time. And he predicted it. Now, you can imagine people being skeptical, looking at him like he's crazy. Like, what the fuck? Like, is this dude serious right now? He's trying to say that there's a new submarine 1.5 times bigger than this one, and it's got all these capabilities. And not only that, but it's shaped in a way that would collapse under the pressure of water and the ocean being so deep underwater and all that. It sounds wild, man. It sounds freaking wild.
So this is a first strike weapon. And it's, by the way, if you've seen the movie Hunt for Red October, that submarine that they used in that movie was the sub that Joe McMoneagle outed. He said it's almost 2 football fields long. It's 75 feet wide. It's 7 stories tall.
7.
He drew, and he's got a video
stories
of this
tall.
that he sent up to the National Security Council. He drew a diagram of the sub with its specifications, with its very interesting technical advancements that the United States didn't have on their subs. And he's got the original tape that he submitted to the NSC, and this has been declassified, so he can share it now.
Now, I will say, people like this guy and a lot of others that consider themselves whistleblowers and shit, man, if you say, I can't talk about that, then you have some type of NDA, you have some type of clearance or something like that, and you are doing advertising, I guess, and damage control. You know what I mean? Like, you got to take it with a grain of salt. So I always keep that in the back of my mind, and I question everything, and I'm skeptical of everything, especially when people like this gentleman here, Sean Webb, certain things that he can't talk about. That's always a red flag to me. A true whistleblower is going to just tell the truth. Maybe I'm wrong. Makes sense to me.
So this is the tape that he reported up to the NSC before the thing was launched, and proved it correct. But he sent all that up, and Robert Gates was the guy who is collecting all the information for the people disseminating the information for the National Security Council. Didn't even let it through.
Really?
Yeah, because he's like, this came from a psychic. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, he looked at it, and he's like, looked at the report, and he's like, okay, the sub, the engineer said the sub can't survive at depth. It's way too big. He's the only guy who thinks it's a sub. It's not, they're not going to be able to roll this off into the water. There's no water there, and it's too big to transport over to the ocean. So he wrote total fantasy on top of the report and sent it back to Joe at Meade.
So that's the type of reception that he got. Oh, this came from a fucking psychic? Okay. Total fantasy. None of this could possibly be true. This is all crazy. Yep. And do you blame him? I mean, come on, man. If I was in his position, I would probably feel the same way if I wasn't familiar with what was going on. Definitely, you know, just like any normal human being would, you know, a logical human being with common sense, but that ain't so common.
Joe is not pleased. He's a little bit of an attitude, and he's a really good operative who's now just been put into this remote viewing thing where he's had some success in. And he's like, I know this is a sub. And so he took that total fantasy remark and he wrote under it. He went back into a meditation and he looked at the sub again. He looked how far along was it. And he made an estimation of how long it was going to take to launch this thing. And he goes, yeah, well, your total fantasy launches in 112 days. Send it back to Robert Gates at the Pentagon.
How did that go?
So your total fantasy launch is in 112 days. So basically he's predicting that in 112 days, they're going to launch that sub, and not in a good way. You know what I mean? Be ready.
Well, Robert Gates has a little bit of an ego. The good news is someone at the National Reconnaissance Office picked up this pissing match, and they were curious. And so they tasked a satellite to do a flyover at 114 days from that date that he said 112 days. And they snapped pictures of the Red October submarine, 7 stories high, 75 feet wide, almost 2 football fields long, canted launch tubes, special propulsion, the whole thing. He nailed it all.
Are you serious?
Yeah. 2 cylinders separated with flat pieces in between, right next to a brand new canal that they built right next to the building in from the sea, so they could roll it off into the water. So they built a canal in the 4 months that he said they were going to launch it in, and just dumped it into the canal right next to the building. So that was interesting. And they were 2 days into, they had all their hatches wide open because they were loading reactor cores and missiles 2 days into the process of loading missiles. So he nailed it to the day, including all the specifications, and no one believed him. And it was one of the greatest information gathering operations for any launch of any Russian equipment since and to this day.
In history, the greatest information gathering event. Hell, they made a movie about it, Hunt for Red October. It's a real thing. And it's a book about it and everything. It's a real thing. And Mr. Joe McMoneagle, this pseudoscience, as the British government says, is what contributed to that happening. Of course, they're not going to come out and say, oh, well, this psychic, da-da-da-da-da. Of course, they're not going to do that, because they're going to keep that under wraps and keep it close to their chest and use that to their advantage so other people don't do it. You know, it's tactical shit, man. But, yeah, he predicted every bit of it, man. He knew exactly all the details and all kinds of shit, and he got it all right. Got every bit of it right. But see, when they said something about it, they hadn't built the little canal yet to be able to get it out of there, roll it into the water and all that. So during that 112, 114 days, they built that canal, and then there it went, man. The name of it is Real Life Psychic and Remote Viewer #1 for the CIA, Joe McMoneagle. He is Remote Viewer #1. That's who we're going to be talking about. I was just giving a little introduction first.
I would imagine that sparked a lot of interest in remote viewing.
The reason your nose is always blocked, it's not what you think.
I guarantee you it sparked a lot of interest in remote viewing. Everybody's like, what?
Gates.
Yeah, let's use that. It worked. Okay, well, let's see if it'll keep working. It opened the doors to a lot of shit right there. But there ain't much left in this video. He's about to tell another cool story about Joe McMoneagle and some of the things that he utilized remote viewing for. Now, think about it. Get creative. Missing people. He can help locate missing people with remote viewing. It's nuts, man. It's crazy. But he can accurately locate missing people. And like I said, he's not 100% accurate, but he's the most accurate to ever do it. And he's like 74% accurate or something like that. It's like 74%. It's crazy. Yeah, my bad if I'm pausing it too much, man. Not trying to fuck with y'all. I know you're interested in the video, and I'm glad you are, man. I just kind of giving a little backstory and shit. But listen to what he's about to say about Mr. McMoneagle. It's a pretty cool story.
Later in his life, when he was doing remote viewing, like for one example, he got a call one night when he was in Las Vegas from the local sheriff who was looking for a missing child. And the mom thought the child was with dad, and the dad thought the child was with mom. And it's getting dark when they figured out the child is missing. And it's in Virginia wilderness and in the county in which Joe lived. And there's wild animals, and it's getting cold at night, and the kids may not make it. He got a call in the middle of the night by the sheriff who's like,
yeah, I could see that, British Bulldog. I don't doubt that at all, man. And I have very limited research into people debunking it because I can kind of predict, what they're going to say and all that. And it's one of those things to where I can't 100% say whether it's real or not real. I can't, but it seems real. I lean more toward that it's real than it ain't. And there's a lot of evidence out there to back that up. And not only that, but the fact that it would benefit everyone that had this to keep it a secret, So I get it, man. But yeah, your government did classify it as pseudoscience, but evidently my government did too in 1995. Pretty cool how they continue to use it, but they classified it as not real. That's hilarious how that shit works, ain't it? Oh man, we got our issues when it comes to the government, but I gotta admit, man, I would rather live in America than Great Britain right now for sure, or England or whatever it's called. I'm sorry if I didn't name your country correctly. England is a part of Great Britain. It's something like that. I believe toward it, to be honest, the mind has so much more than we know. And that's my thing, man. We haven't unlocked our full potential, and we definitely don't know what our brains are capable of as humans. And there's a lot of people that have dedicated their whole life, and generations of people dedicated their lives to like chi and peace and yin and yang and all that, and meditation and all that stuff, and trying to expand the mind and unlock the full potential of the mind. And lately, the most common trend to doing that involves DMT and psychedelics, people trying to unlock the full potential of the mind. And it's interesting stuff, man. That's what I think about it. But right now, McMoneagle is in Vegas, and he's getting a call in the middle of the night, waking him up. And they obviously believe in him and know what he's capable of, or they wouldn't be calling him right now. There's a child missing.
Let's get the psychic on the phone. And Joe immediately picked up the phone, closed his eyes for like 5 seconds, and then basically told the sheriff, he goes, send your deputy out this road to this particular location. Have him stop the car, get out of the car, get his compass out. And at 318 degrees on his compass, I want you to walk 1,209 steps.
That's pretty specific. But at a certain angle, I think he said 118 degrees, walk 1,200 steps or something like that. And you're going to call out the kid's name, and he'll answer.
Have him stop the car, get out of the car, get his compass out. And at 318 degrees on his compass, I want you to walk 1,209 steps. Stop, call the child's name out, and he will respond. And that was like within 5-10 seconds of getting the call and asking, what the details were. And then he gave a reading. And so he goes back to bed thinking, okay, hopefully they're going to find the kid. If they follow his directions, they will. About 5 minutes later, 10 minutes later, you get another call in his hotel room, and he's pissed because it's ringing the phone in the middle of the night again. So he gets up, grabs the phone. Hello, Joe. We sent our officer out there to the spot where you said, and he pulled out his compass. But this officer just said he got back from training last week regarding missing children, and he said the statistics are that kids 10 and under will not walk up a hill when they're lost.
saying kids 10 and under will not walk up a hill when they're lost. And so even if there would have been officers in that area, they probably would not have went up this hill to go look for this child because of what they're learning in their training, you know, and it makes sense. So it makes sense why he would think that. But he's being told, hey, tell him to go up the damn hill.
But he's looking at his compass reading and it goes directly up a steep hill. What do you want us to do? And his answer was immediate. It's like, do what I told you to do. Click.
Do what I told you to do.
And so then another 5-10 minutes goes by and he gets another call and he picks up the phone a little softer this time because I think he had a feeling that they found him. He's like, did you find him? And she goes, yes, Joe. Thank you very much. Good night. And so the officer, against his training, went up the hill, 1,209 steps, followed the directions, stopped where he was, called out the child's name, and the kid answered him because he had walked up the hill to get to a cabin, and he was sleeping on the back porch sofa of a cabin that was deserted at the time, but it had a light on. And he was a 5-year-old kid, and he said, my daddy said if I ever got lost, walk to the closest light and stay there. And so he went up the hill.
Crazy, right? So basically, that kid had been told by his dad that if he ever gets lost to go to the closest light and stay there and wait. And the closest light was some cabin that nobody was there. And there was a couch on the back porch. So he laid on that couch on the back porch and waited like his daddy told him to. And Joe McMoneagle told this dude 318 degrees on your compass, walk 1,207 steps or something like that, and call out his name. And it worked. The kid was right there. How do you explain that? Man got a call in a motel room in the middle of the night and told this dude where to go to find the kid. Can't explain that, man. I can't explain that. I don't know. Kind of crazy. We got a little bit more to come. I'm going to... What we got?
Doing 83 in a 55 on County Road 112. Roll the windows down, let the smoke roll out, light a cigarette to hide the smell. He was waiting past the wood line when I came by, not giving a damn. When I seen his lights, he was on my ass, but I can't stop right now. I still gotta hide the weed, I be damned if I go to jail for 3.5. No sir, you ain't searching me. This ain't my first rodeo, son, I know my rights. You can call whoever, you can tell them what you want, but that still won't change a thing. Cause you ain't got a want, you ain't got a reason, and I'ma smoke when you pull away. So roll on, son. 1 a.m. we hit a roadblock on County Road 32. I said, hi, my weed and your titties, girl, or I hope you brought your running shoes. He said, pull to the side while you're out so late, and son, you better have a good excuse, because you smell like smoke, but I'ma let you go. I said, sir, I'm just passing through. I still gotta hide the weed, I be damned if I go to jail for 3.5. No sir, you ain't searching me. This ain't my first rodeo, son, I know my rights. You can call whoever, you can tell them what you want, but that still won't change a thing. Cause you ain't got a want, you ain't got a reason, and I'ma smoke when you pull away. So roll on, son. We've been riding the roads, getting stoned. We ain't seen the police all night long. So I got brave and thought I'd hit the store. I seen Smokey on my
cards in my hand. By the time he see my eyes, I swear I was so high. He said, what the hell was y'all doing? I said, officer, I can't even lie. We had to hide the weed. I'll be damned if I go to jail for 3.5. No, sir, you ain't searching me. This ain't my first rodeo, son. I know my rights. You can call whoever, you can tell them what you want, but it still won't change a thing. Cause you ain't got a warrant and you ain't got a reason, and I'ma smoke when you pull away. So roll on, son.
AM, you know you're my favorite white boy, right? I owe you for this one.
I've been patiently waiting for a track to explode on. You get stunned if you want and your ass to get rolled on. It feels like my flow's been hot for so long. You thinking I'ma fucking fall off, you're so wrong.
I'm innocent in my head, like a baby bone dead. Destination heaven. Sitting politic with passengers from 9/11. The Lord's blessings leave me lyrically inclined. Shit, I ain't even got to try to shine. Guards the seamstress that tailor fitted my pain. I got scriptures in my brain, I can spit at your dame. Straight out the good book. Look, niggas is shook. 50 fear no man, warrior. Swing swords like Conan. Picture me, pen in hand, write lines, knowing the source of wrote it. When I die, they'll read this and say a genius wrote it. I grew up without my pop, shit that make me bitter. I call cases, I count doctors, that make me a quitter. In this white man's world, I'm similar to a squirrel, looking for a slut with a nice butt to get a nut. If I get shot today, my phone will stop ringing again. These industry niggas ain't friends, they know how to pretend.
Patiently waiting for a track to explode on. You get stunned if you want and your ass to get rolled on. It feels like my flow's been hot for so long. You thinking I'ma fucking fall off, you're so wrong. Patiently waiting for a track to explode on. You get stunned if you want and your ass to get rolled on. It feels like my flow's been hot for so long. You thinking I'ma fucking fall off, you're so wrong.
You've been patiently waiting to make it through all the hating, debating whether or not you can even weather the storm. When you lay on the table, they operating to save you. It's like an angel came to you, sent from the heavens above.
They think they're crazy, but they ain't crazy. Let's face it, shit, basically they just playing sick. They ain't shit, they ain't saying shit. Spraying 50s, A to the K, get in the way. I bring Dre and them with me and turn this day into fucking mayhem. You staying with me? Don't let me lose you. I'm not trying to confuse you. When I let loose with this Uzi and just shoot through your Isuzu. You get the message, am I getting through to you? You know what's coming, you motherfuckers don't even know, do you? Take some big and some pop and you mix them up in a pot. Sprinkle a little Big L on top. What the fuck do you got? You got the realest and illest killers tied up in a knot. The juggernauts of this rap shit, like it or not. It's like a fight to the top just to see who died for the spot. You put your life in this, nothing like surviving a shot. Y'all know what time it is, soon as 50 signs on this dot. Shit, what you know about death threats, cause I get a lot. Shady Records was 80 seconds away from the towers. Them cowards fuck with the wrong building, they meant to hit ours. Better evacuate all children. Nuclear showers, there's nothing spookier. You're now about to witness the power of fucking
Patiently waiting for a track to explode on. You get stunned if you want and your ass to get rolled on. It feels like my flow's been hot for so long. You thinking I'ma fucking fall off, you're so wrong. Gang squad here, all of the shots go off. It's 50, they say it's 50. See a nigga laid out with his fucking top blown off. It's 50. Man, that wasn't 50. Don't holler, my nigga. Shouldn't throw stones if you live in a glass house. And if you got a glass jaw, you should watch your mouth. Cause I'll break your face. Have your ass running, mumbling to the J. You're going against me, dog. You're making a mistake. I split your lead, you're looking like the Michael Jackson jackets with all them zippers. I'm the boss on this boat. You can call me Skipper. The way I turn the money over, you should call me Flipper. Yo, bitch, a regular bitch. You calling her wifey. I fucked and feed her fast food. You keeping her icy. I'm down to sell records, but not my soul. Snoop said this in 94. We don't love them hoes. I got pennies for my thoughts, now I'm rich. See the 20 spinning, looking mean on the 6. Niggas wearing flags, cause the colors match their clothes. They get caught in the wrong hood.
and filled up with hoes, motherfucker.
Patiently waiting for a track to explode on. You get stunned if you want, and your ass will get rolled on. It feels like my flow's been hot for so long. You thinking I'ma fucking fall off? You're so wrong. Patiently waiting for a track to explode on. You get stunned if you want, and your ass will get rolled on. It feels like my flow's been hot for so long. You thinking I'ma fucking fall off? You're so wrong.
Hey, Rusty, you know you're my favorite white boy, right? Yeah, I love that song, man. He said, I forgot how hard this goes. That's, man, that old 50 Cent, good Lord. I still play that regularly. I play a lot of his old songs regularly, man. Take it back to the old shit. But I like a lot of the old shit way better than a lot of the new stuff, man. Unfortunately, music in general, but especially rap music and mainstream music, mainstream anything, has went in a bad direction. It's watered down. Crazy. Back to our regularly scheduled program. We're going to start listening from the one and only Mr. Joe McMoneagle himself. And he's going to start out by talking about some out-of-body experiences.
You had later been trained on how to control an out-of-body experience.
Yes, I was trained by Robert Monroe, who actually wrote the book on.
Yeah, y'all can see he's an old man these days, but that's him right there, Joe McMoneagle. Tells you how long ago he started all this stuff, because he was a young man when all this stuff started. That's how long this stuff's been going on. But then we have governments out there giving the official story that it's all fake.
Out of body, Journeys Out of the Body by Robert Monroe. He actually brought it to the public forefront. I'm sure many people had that experience and never talked about it until he wrote his book.
I'm with you, Shandy.
And
I'm with you.
So department, when I was judged to be an excellent remote viewer, they knew that I had been having spontaneous out of bodies ever since that event.
So hold on. How would that get triggered?
All right. So basically, he was in the Army, and he was damn right, Shanda, holding it down, man. I trust me some government. Just got my fluid seasonal booster. Me too, bro. You wild. But Joe McMoneagle was in the Army, and he was stationed in another country. I think it was Thailand or Vietnam. I think it was Vietnam. And they tried to kill him. And they had this technology that it was from Russia, but America had taken it and refined it. And then Russia stole the information back and so on. But you could be at a table with a group of people and all of you drink the same drink, and it has this certain enzyme in it. But then later they have some kind of food or something when you're somewhere else, and everybody has the same food or drink or whatever that has a second enzyme in it. And you are the only one that gets both of those enzymes. So enzyme A and enzyme B is fed to you at different times throughout the day. Everybody that you're with is getting that enzyme A, and everybody that you're with later is getting that enzyme B, but you're the only one getting both. And it causes a third enzyme to develop, which poisons you and can kill you. He lived through it, but it was tough on him, and he started having an outer body experience randomly, and it was not willingly. He couldn't control it at first. But it kind of gets you caught up to what he's talking about.
Oh, there is no trigger. That's the problem.
So it would just happen.
It would just happen.
Does it still happen?
Yeah. I still have spontaneous out of bodies every now and then.
Just spontaneous.
There's a way to initiate them, which I haven't done since the project terminated. Actually, since I did a couple targets for Department of Defense, DOD. What they did is they actually came out and hired Bob Monroe.
Now, I don't know about you guys, but just listening to this gentleman talk and hearing him talk about how the Department of Defense was using him and getting information from him, and he was helping them and things like that. And when they ended the program and terminated the program and certain terminologies and just the way he talks about it, it genuinely sounds like he's telling a true story about something he experienced in his life. It definitely doesn't seem like some kind of pseudoscience or something like that, but just my opinion.
To teach me how to initiate control my out of bodies. They wanted to see if intelligence could be collected that way that would be even better than remote viewing, more defined.
Why don't the Japanese get diabetes? While you're stabbing yourself with needles.
Why don't the Japanese get diabetes?
What I did for many, many months is I would leave Fort Meade after my remote viewing on a Thursday night, drive to Virginia, to the Nellis Fort area of Virginia, where the Monroe Institute is located. Yeah.
The Monroe Institute. I'm going to have to do a little more research on that place. But he talks about the Monroe Institute a lot, and it has been very helpful in him developing his skills.
And I would get up early on Friday morning, and then Friday, all day Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I would work with Bob Monroe in his lab. I'd start very early in the morning, and we work all day just doing exercises where he was teaching me how to initiate an out of body and control it.
So all day, every day for 8-10 hours a day, he was practicing how to control leaving his body and having out-of-body experiences and being able to control that. Just like it was a full-time job.
Hard work. Really difficult. Not so much initiating them, but controlling them is a bitch.
How do you initiate that?
Yeah. How do you initiate an out-of-body experience?
You lay in a certain position and you try to generate a repetitive vibration that starts at your feet, and it like runs up your body to the top of your head and back down to your feet. Most people, when they get this, get uncomfortable and they move around and it stops. If you generate it and it runs up to the head and down to the feet, you can keep it going. You can energize it. You can put more energy behind it.
Man, I wish Alec was here right now because he damn sure has something to say about that. He's talking about how to initiate an out-of-body experience, and he described it as a certain vibration. And man, me and Alec have dug into a lot of that, and a lot of the people on this show has dug into a lot of that, where vibration is the root of a lot of different things, man. And the key to doing this is a certain vibration. And he talks about laying in a certain position and getting this vibration. And most people, when they start to feel this, it's uncomfortable, so they move and they get into a more comfortable position and things like that. But evidently, this is supposed to be a little uncomfortable. And he's describing, I guess, the protocol and how to do this, you know.
People, when they get this, get uncomfortable and they move around and it stops.
Yeah, he said, "I'm coming."
Generate it, and it runs up to the head and down to the feet. You can move position and you try to generate them as a control.
Do that right here.
Hard work. Really difficult. Not so much initiating them, but controlling them is a bitch.
How do you initiate that?
You lay in a certain position and you try to generate a
vibration
repetitive vibration that starts at your feet, and it like runs up your body to the top of your head and back down to your feet. Most people, when they get this, get uncomfortable and they move around and it stops.
Right.
If you generate it and it runs up to the head and down to the feet, you can keep it going. You can energize it. You can put more energy behind it to the point that you eventually separate from your body, roll out of your body so that you're looking down at your body, or you pass through a wall and you're outside floating like in some suspended state of disbelief.
Sounds like something out of a movie or something. But the way he described it is you kind of roll out of your body and look down on your body, and or you could go through a wall, because of course it's hard to control it, especially your first time. So I would imagine, you know, you go out of your body with a little bit too much force, you end up outside or something, you know, because you can go through walls and things like that. It's interesting, but you're conscious and aware of all this. It's almost like it's just what you would call a spirit, I guess. Your soul, your consciousness leaves your body, but your body's still there. It's interesting, man.
Because it's as real as you and I are sitting here talking when you're out of body and completely out of body. If you're not generating a fear of it, or you're not falling victim to being afraid of what might happen, that sort of thing.
So you need to be in full confidence.
Yes. Initially, you have like I had a sense every time I separated.
And it's funny, but I know what you talk about. I wasn't on angel dust, of course. I was doing ketamine, but I fell into a K-hole. And I swore that I got up and walked over and turned the TV on. No, my bad. Turned the TV off and turned the radio on and started listening to music. And I didn't move. I was still sitting on the couch. But I kind of remember seeing myself sitting on the couch, like looking over at myself or something. It was weird, but I had a similar experience. Oh, shit. Here he is. I look in the house. What's going on, my brother? Good to see you.
Likewise, brother. What are you doing?
Digging into some remote viewing and out-of-body experiences, man. You familiar at all with any of that?
A little bit.
I thought you might be.
A little experience.
Did you hear what he just said a moment ago when he was talking about how to initiate it? And he basically rooted to vibrations, man. I know you've talked about that a lot.
Yeah, I caught the last few minutes of it here. I'm trying to finish up building this course and everything that we've been, I've been telling y'all about. But yeah, man, for me, I got a different way, and this way works for me, but the vibration aspect is all the same. But instead of doing the head and the feet thing like he was talking about, if you close your eyes, there's a center point. You know what I mean? When you close your eyes, you'll find that center point and you'll start seeing a tunnel spiraling. And you just focus on the center, and it's like you're going down a water slide almost, and it's like a kaleidoscope, and it starts getting crazier and crazier. And as you start going and going, and you're focusing on nothing but going down that tunnel, man. And it's like a black hole almost, man, like a Stargate or something. And you fucking start going down it, and you start feeling your whole body start vibrating, and it'll start vibrating super crazy to the point where your heart rate feels like it's about to blow out of your chest. It'll scare the shit out of you. And if you can make it through that, you'll break through to the point where, like he says, you can roll out. You know what I mean? But it's most of the time, once you get to that point, it's so intense that you're like, oh shit, like, you know what I mean? Like I'm not you, like, and you stop it, you move, you overthink it, and then you jump out and you have to try to get back. So that's my method. But I'm gonna see what he's talking about with that head and the foot thing. Try that.
Well, I don't know if you noticed it or not, but he did also say that you have to be able to control your fear because it's scary. So
yeah,
I mean,
your heart rate will feel like it's going.
Yeah.
And your whole body's vibrating. So it's like your eyes, I mean, everything's like, and your heart's freaking pounding, and it feels like you're just about to explode full of energy. And it's like, I guess that's, you know what I mean? Like you're breaking through that soul and that physicality barrier, you know what I mean? And but dude, it's intense, man. It's it's intense. The tunnel for me is, I mean, I'm gonna have to try what he's talking about, a different take. I wonder if it's like you know, I don't know if there's any benefits to that versus what I this is just what kind of was shown to me, so to say, you know what I mean?
Right,
and what
right,
I've always
right.
done, and it works every time. Every time, but it's getting past that point that's the hard part.
That's right. That's right. And it's practice, man. Like he just said,
Yeah.
also right before that, he was talking about how he practiced this stuff for years. And he
Yeah.
would literally go for 8-10 hours a day and do nothing but practice, you know, being able to leave his body and control his out of body experience once he left and things like that. And
Right.
he is one of the ones, he is the one that incorporated remote viewing with leaving your body, because of course, you know, remote viewing is a form of that, but I'm sure you can be more effective if you're able to control, you know, what we just talked about, where you can have that out of body experience and things like that. So
Right.
he kind of
So he
bridged
was-
the two together, but he was number one, the very first remote viewer for the U.S. government.
Did it say he worked with the Monroe Institute, the guy from the
Yes.
Monroe Institute or something? Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. He was like subject one at the Monroe Institute, and he talks really good about that place. I don't know a whole lot about it, but he talks good about it.
Aren't they the same ones that did the hemisync, all the hemisync stuff, the like the tones, and then the gate program and all that type stuff too, right? Because I was in the gate program as a kid, man. There's a lot of weird shit with that, and then I had I've had so much weird stuff throughout my life, bro. Like I don't know if I want. I don't know. I'm gonna have to. I can talk about some of it, but some of it's a little out there. You know what I mean? But it's definitely things that I'll never forget. You know, but.
I think Farrell was involved in that as well when he was
Yeah.
young. But
yeah, we've talked about it before. There's a lot of weird stuff with that, man.
What can you say? Because it's interesting. I'd like to hear.
Oh, I mean,
what can you say?
Oh, I mean about that. I could talk. I'm talking about that. I just meant as far as like other experiences throughout my life that was just weird stuff. You know, like that. I'll probably talk about at some point, but I don't know about just putting it all out because there's some crazy shit. But the stuff
what would be the most interesting experience from the GATE program?
The stuff I remember from that was they pulled us out and brought us to this room that was like a room I didn't even know was there. And it was kind of like that past a couple classrooms. And like I said, this was years ago. So this is all from what I can remember. And it was like a room off to the side and it opened up and it was like an octagon kind of shaped room. And it was kind of like in the back. It was like a real small or circular kind of octagon kind of shaped room. You know what I mean? And they had us always gargle this pink foam fluoride paste or fluoride foam stuff, which tasted good, tasted like bubble gum. So of course, your kids, you're like, and fluoride, but you know what fluoride does. And that's why I think there's a lot of stuff like because I remember having to do all these different weird like personality profiles and tests and different sound tests and tones and all that stuff. And I remember being in lots of different rooms with people behind double-sided glass and doing all kind of weird puzzles and shit and stuff like that. Like, they were like looking at certain images and it wasn't like ink block. They did that too, but I'm like other stuff with, I don't know, man. It was a lot of weird stuff, dude. A lot of weird stuff that now is like coming back to me as I'm hearing, other stuff. And I'm like, dude, I freaking remember that clear as day, like other people's experiences is crazy, man. Because to know that it was happening like to a lot of people, and now that we're all kind of remembering those things collectively is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's interesting stuff, man.
Yeah,
and especially when it involves kids, because you hear about all the shit that happened back in the 70s and 60s.
Exactly, and that ties in with the DARE and all that shit, like we were talking about the other day, bro. Because I was gonna say. They're the reason that that same school is the reason that basically my whole life of drug use started, because they're the ones that told my parents if they didn't give me Ritalin that they would have to take me out of school or I'd have to find another school. And and I wasn't a bad kid. I mean, I was a little hyper or whatever, but they basically told them like you're gonna have to drug them up and so that's the same ones that had me in the program swishing fluoride every day, So I think they, because the DARE program was after that, and and then the Ritalin was the first thing I ever OD'd on, and then I started getting on my Adderall and snorting them and snorting everything else, and then went to coke and then everything else like we talked about last time, and all that started from my Ritalin, because that's when I was like, oh, I go faster. You know what I mean? I can go even faster. Shit, I can, and I became a freaking speed freak. But I think that's why that lawsuit, that class action with the Ritalin and ADD stuff and everything, I need to get on that, because I mean, it was pretty much like guaranteed you were going to be a drug user. You know what I mean? That was like the connected thing that connected all of them, was everybody became freaking addicts at some point in their life.
Yep.
So I think there's a lot of stuff, like whether they know who kind of people are on a spiritual level beforehand, or what people might do, and I don't know. And it's like if you are matching these certain profile markers or something like that, that you're this type of personality profile, and we need to put a dim that light kind of thing.
That's right. That's right.
Not
Too
saying
smart.
I'm, but yeah, I mean, it's I don't know what the markers are. I'm just, but something, whether it be lineage, whether it be some kind of certain personality characteristics, whether it be some spiritual, it's something.
Well, it's control. It's power and control. They want people to be docile and easily influenced, and they don't want them to think for themselves and question things. They just want them to go along to get along.
And as most of us are those that we're the ones that defiant in school and like skipping school and all that stuff. I mean, well, later anyway, but we all kind of had that same path too. So, life of kind of going against the system.
To be honest, I got bored, man. I wish I would have took it more seriously and furthered my education more. But I was so far ahead of the other people in my class and in my grade that I just got bored with it, and I lost interest, man. And like my test scores would be all A's, and my homework would be zeros, because I just refused. I refused, bro. I knew what I was doing. I just didn't want to do it, man. It's one of the things, man. I just think I got bored.
I was the same way, brother. Like that, and I remember I used to win the readers thing all the time.
Oh yeah.
Pizza Hut, personal pan pizzas. I would get them all the time. They knew me by name at Pizza Hut.
Right.
Right. I mean, I would get I had like all those tests. It was like way above average on all the test scores, and then I just wouldn't do the work. I don't, this is boring, and like even PE, I didn't dress out in PE. I failed PE. I didn't do any. I'd skipped so much school that, I mean, I failed 7th. I ended up failing 9th. There's times when I think like, man, I wish I would. I ended up getting my GED and all that, and I went to, I got a renewable energy degree when I got out the last and final time in 2012. But so I mean, I did get some like continued education, but as far as like kind of wishing that I would have, there's times I would like, but then there's other times like I feel like we were meant to go this path, because that's the whole Rockefeller school system. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we could have, man, it'd been nice to, it would have been a lot easier to be a little more in line, you know what I mean? But no, that's not the path. Like it might be a little more rough, but we were meant to kind of be that glitch in the system. You know what I mean?
That's right. And I was a little gullible back then, and it probably could have been a little easier to mold me back then, way more than it is now, So we're probably lucky that we didn't go the route that we did. We could have went, for sure. And I think back on that, and it's like, man, I work my ass off, dude, and work hard, and I'm pretty successful. I'm not hurting for money, but I have to earn it for sure. And I'm not one of those people that just take a day off when you feel like it, go on vacation 4 or 5 times a year, go buy a brand new car because you want to, live in a fucking big ass fucking 25,000 square foot home and shit like that. I'm not on that level, man. And had I made better decisions when I was younger, I probably could have been. And that's the one regret that I got. But everything happens for a reason, like you said, man. And we ended up where we were supposed to be,
But also, it wasn't your time. All that stuff can still happen, And that's the thing. Like, now that you have the spiritual foundation and that character built, and you'll be able to handle those things a lot better versus when we were young and reckless and doing all that. We could have got those things, yeah, or even if we went that path, but then we could have still been hollow inside because we hadn't, had these experiences that drew us closer to God, and stuff like that. So you're always searching for the next thing and keeping up with the Joneses because you're trying to fill that spiritual void. Whereas, people that have to go through the fire a little bit more tend to build a little bit stronger bonds with God and stuff like that, in my opinion, from my experience, rather,
No, I mean, you got a great point there, man. Wow. Yeah, that's absolutely 100%. Absolutely. Because will admit, had I been more successful at a younger age, I probably would have screwed it up, man. Probably would have screwed it up.
Yep. I know the times I had highs, they were highs. I mean, I was high the whole time,
Yeah.
turned through it. So I've had my little ups and downs, and didn't handle them as I would now. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I see all the stuff in Nashville with all the real estate and all these houses that people had in the nations and shit. Like, we were running around thinking we ran the streets, but we didn't own any single bit of property or real estate. And all these houses that people had for $60,000-$70,000 that they bought for $300,000 or $250,000 to tear down and build 2 or 3 tall skinnies. I'm like, man, like if I'd have had my shit together, I could have had some real estate. Not that I'd necessarily want to sell out to all that type of development crap, but at the same time, it would have been some smart because the growth is inevitable. It would have been some smart financial decisions, that's for damn sure.
I would probably own my own trucking / delivery service, man, if I would have followed the path that I wanted to, because I love to drive, man. I'm a good driver. That's what I do,
right.
And that's what I love. But for some reason, I don't drive for a career, and I wanted to, and I did for a while, but I got away from it, man. And but I probably that's what I wanted to do. If you'd asked me when I was younger, I was going to start my own business, and I had thought of DoorDash back then, bro. This is the late 90s, and I was talking about delivering shit, going to the store for people and bringing it to them for a fee and shit like that. I was already talking about that shit way back then, man.
Right.
And matter of fact, my buddy D.I. started that. He bought a couple cars and put a little magnet decal on the side of them, man, and started a little delivery service at one point.
Right.
And I invested, to help him get it started and everything. It was my idea. And he ended up getting in trouble and went to prison and all that stuff. But we even tried it at one point, man, and took it seriously. So yeah, it's one of them things, man. You never know how things are going to turn out. You want to make God smile, you tell him your plans,
Right. Yes. I mean, a lot of those things, they took like services that people were already starting to build like that, like y'all service that you started, and then made it to where it was, like the whole you'll own nothing and be happy type stuff. Like that's why I feel like a lot of this stuff comes down, because none of it is using your own company. So you're not investing in any actual like company asset. Everything is up to the individuals, the people that are running the food and stuff like that. They're the ones that have to make all the investments, so it frees you of all the liability basically, and it's just full profit. So everything being automated, and that's why I think a lot of those things, like people talk about, all these tech people like Bill Gates and what's his name from Apple, I just had brain fart. I'm talking about
Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs, yeah.
Yeah.
How they say they started it in their garage and stuff. Like, if you know who Gates' grandpa is and the Planned Parenthood and all the things he was tied in, damn well he didn't just start it in his garage. And the fact that somebody else had it and he stole the whole code for it or whatever and then started it.
Right.
So, all these people, all these little backstories that they fabricate, like, and then these things you think it's like from grassroots, but it's really already controlled by the same, powers that be that control and operate on all the other things. So it's all tied in, man. And that's why a lot of these apps and stuff, I think once I heard that you'll own nothing and be happy, I started seeing a pattern with all these different service apps, and I'm like,
That's right. That's right.
It wasn't just some guy's idea. It was that somebody had the idea like y'all did, and then that guy stole it and made it to where he's just profiting from it and smart, but you know, it's all following agenda.
And you know, the people that own DoorDash or Uber Eats or any of that shit, it wasn't their idea. They just capitalized on an idea. You know,
right?
It's one of them things, man.
Exactly.
You got the right pieces in place. It's a lot easier for some people than if you and I decided to start a business today. We got a lot of obstacles in front of us that some others wouldn't have because they just happen to be in the garage of the Jobs family or whatever, you know. So it comes with its benefits for sure, man.
Yeah, those who they know or the funds that they have access to, because a lot of it boils down to funding. I mean, you know how much, like, I've been running my home repair business for almost 11 years now, and dude, it takes money to run a business. So if you're starting out, I mean, thankfully the way I started out, like I was so green to it all. I was like, I'll just use my unemployment and get business cards made at Vistaprint and do this. And then, I was like, well, I got to get the insurances and all this. So I started kind of rough, strapping a ladder to my old Cavalier.
Right.
Sticking out the trunk and shit until I could get it. Finally, I didn't have any credit. So I finally got, I was able to get a van and all that stuff. And man, but dude, it takes a lot of money to start. And so that's just starting like a hands-on trades business. So, thinking about starting something where you need a lot of capital to be able to invest in the things you need to make it happen. It's like, not everybody can do that. You know what I mean? Unless you have good credit or, are able to have access to OPM. That's the main thing. Using other people's money to do it.
If I was younger, dude, I would take advantage of that so bad. Hell, I probably still could, but there's nothing stopping somebody from starting their own business. Of course, I don't have 40 years to put into it like some other people that are younger than me do. But it's there, and I think people are afraid of failure because you go and you get this big ass loan to go buy a couple trucks and start a business or something, and there's that the fear of failure out there to where, oh, well, what if I can't pay all this money back? Well, then your business wasn't successful. You fucking file bankruptcy and you start all over, man. It's really nothing to be afraid of, You're
gonna fail. The thing is, you get back up and you keep pushing because you're gonna fail. That's the point. Look at every failure as the lesson. Is you're learning what not to do next time. So I couldn't tell you how many times I've failed with this business, bro. I mean, I fail all the time. I'm still learning. After a decade later, So, I mean, I'm worn out, but I'm ready for this music shit to take off. But
well, I mean, would it make a difference in your business if you had 50 grand to invest into it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, for sure, right?
Yeah, because then I could hire people and have it to where I am the business. I'm not running the business. I am the business. If something happens to me, it's like nothing's happening. You know what I mean?
Right.
So if I had capital, I would take time off to be able to actually sit down and get all my stuff in order, look at the people that I want to bring on and get them going, and then be able to just go around and look at jobs. So it would give me a lot of headroom to kind of free things up and sit down, because I can't stop much to I'm always moving, dude. So, that's my problem. Is if I had capital, it would definitely make a difference.
That's right.
But, that's why I'm so burned out, because I haven't been able to stop. It's like, I used to at least take a vacation and stuff. I hadn't really taken a vacation in a while now. So
that's what my son said to me the other day. He's like, "Dad, are we ever gonna go on vacation again?" I'm like, "Man, I ain't even thought about no vacation, bro. I ain't got time."
I daydream about it. But making it happen.
Yeah. And then again, it's like, well, where would I really go? Because I've been to the beach more times than I can count. It don't sound like fun no more. I live in the mountains, you know what I mean? So I don't really know. I don't have a want to go anywhere. You know what I mean?
There's so many places to see, though, man. There's such a big world out there. It's like you're saying that from your lens right now, because you're like, I got a nice view here. I've been to the beach. But like when you actually just start getting out and going, you're gonna be like, oh shit. Yeah, this is beautiful. I'm glad I did this. You know what I mean? I'm the same way. I don't want to be too far from home these days, man. But I know that I don't want to look back with regrets either. It's like I want to see freaking Grand Canyon would be cool as hell, especially if we can get into some restricted areas and check out the hieroglyphs and shit.
That would be cool,
like
man. That would be cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Going and actually like exploring some shit and seeing, because I mean, I've been to a bunch of states, but there's a whole bunch of this country I haven't seen, more than I've seen, that's for sure. So I'd like to go on a road trip and take my dogs with me and just go out and about and, see things.
And you got the most obvious answers, like fucking Mount Rushmore and Grand Canyon and stuff. But even that has become so commercialized and controlled. Like it's a tourist attraction, like it's not what it was meant to be or what it used to be.
No,
anymore,
You can't even fly drones over a certain area. Where all the stuff, all the stuff they found, they don't want you. They don't want you anywhere near. You can only go to a certain area, which is so stupid. It's like, who are y'all to tell the whole rest of the world that what part of the damn Grand Canyon we can see? And the same thing like the Antarctica Treaty. How can y'all tell the whole fucking world that we can't go to these places?
And that's the only treaty that nobody ever broke. That one treaty.
But these countries hate each other, right?
All these countries never broke that treaty, Antarctica. That's the one treaty that they all like, okay, sure.
Right. We'll all agree on that one thing.
Interesting.
Yeah. Man, that's what I mean. We got to go to those areas where you can't go, It's like, I mean, I'm sure they probably got some kind of thermal shit or something where they can tell where people satellite imaging or I don't know, something. They got their ways.
Oh yeah. It's like people trying to go to Area 51 and Los Alamos and all that. I mean, they don't make it very far before somebody's there on top of a hill in a truck watching them. Like, no way, dude,
Yeah. Yeah, man. It makes you wonder. I mean, I know they got some tech that we ain't even heard of, but we're always 10 years behind what they actually have.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I think we'd be surprised to find out some of the shit that they got.
Yeah.
Shit, let's watch a little bit of this.
All right. From my body that there was something evil in the room, something base, evil, that you couldn't deal with in the room with me.
The Iron Sweater Market.
Bob about it. He'd say, I'd be inside this black cube, shielded box, laying on the bed. He'd be in a different room monitoring me, and he'd say, it's okay, just go with it. I'd say, but what is that? And he'd say, you'll figure it out. That's all he would ever say, you'll figure it out. And it's something you have to deal with yourself. And he knew that. And at some point, when I was hovering above my body, getting this just overwhelming feeling of base, ugly thing in the room with me, I roll over to confront it, and it was my physical body underneath me. So your perceptions of baseness and ugliness and everything about this evil is your physical presence, which is kind of interesting.
Very interesting.
It's when you're out of body, it's a higher form of sensing, a higher form of being. The problem with it is that
a higher form of sensing or being, almost like that your senses are heightened and you're more aware.
Higher self.
Yeah. And it made me think of what you were talking about, how your heart starts beating and it's like scary and stuff, man, because he's got this dude talking to him and he's like, you'll figure it out. Don't worry. Just go with it. You'll figure it out.
The next thing you have to control is how to go somewhere and do something. You can go out of body and the first thing that catches your attention is a chandelier in the next room.
Chandelier.
The chandelier, when you pass into it, is the most glorious thing you've ever seen in your whole life, because you're collecting everything about it into your sense. your sense of it. And so it's like you just want to grovel in it. Everything is better than what you are. I mean, you just want to capture all of it. Things of beauty are 10 times more beautiful, and things that you would normally not pay any attention to are the most gorgeous things on the planet.
It's almost like it teaches you to appreciate the small things, you know, like stop and smell the roses type of thing. It's almost like what he's saying.
Present is a gift. Present.
He used the chandelier as an example, and he was like, you just want to grovel in it. You appreciate everything about it. You look at it from a different perspective. It's more than just a pretty light. You see all everything that goes into it, you know.
Right.
It's hard to not be distracted in the out-of-body condition. So I did that, and then Monday morning at 4 a.m. I get up and drive back to Fort Meade.
Can you feel energy flow?
You can feel everything in the out-of-body condition. For instance, once you get control of it, then Bob would start giving me things to do. He'd say, go to the location in the envelope. And I'd go to whatever that location was. And I'd be in the out-of-body state. And I'd report to him what I was finding. On this one occasion, he sent me to the Basilica in Rome. It was in the envelope. The altar in the center of the Basilica of Rome. So I landed there in the out-of-body condition, and there was a beam of white light that came through the center of the dome and just splattered on the floor. It filled the whole room with light. And I told him, this is a place of light. It's a column of just what looks like liquid energy light coming through the center of a dome. And he said, put your hand in it. Put my hand in it.
Fearless, man. He just put his hand in it. This energy light coming through a dome, and he just put his hand in it. Crazy. But listen to the way he describes it. This is interesting.
I went, oh, wow. And he said, what are you feeling? And I said, perfection.
Perfection.
What do you mean? I don't know. Don't want to move. Just want to be here. It felt like unconditional love. Perfection. And then I said, housed in a box of broken glass or something like that. It's okay, fine. Pull your hand out. Why?
I don't want
because
to.
I said so. I'll come in there and jerk you out of that bed. No, he didn't say that. But he'd say it's time to leave or something, and I would do that. But we did that for quite a while, and then.
What do you think that was, man?
Well, I know from one of my experiences where it was like you were home, you know what I mean? Like you were home. You could all the sound and everything like helped co-create the realm. It was all warmth, like super warm and comfort, comforting. And I said I sobbed for 7 seasons. It was my thing that I kept saying when I got, because I was like, it was this like uprooting sad, like deep sadness of like, this is like, when I hadn't shed tears in a long time, and I held everything in, and all this stuff was uprooting all this, and that was on a different thing, but similar type experience. That was on a Aya journey, and dude, it was definitely life changing. But it was that same type of warmth, that perfection, that comfort. Like I remember, I just said I'm home, and I didn't want to leave. Everything was like it was just like perfect. You know what I mean? Like when he said that, I was like, yeah, I see that, because it was home. That's what I said, and I saw it for 7 seasons, just weeping all this stuff out that I've held in for so many years, you know, and just uprooting. But it felt so good. It wasn't like a sadness cry. You know what I mean? It was like
it's
a
like a
deeper,
release.
like sobbing, fucking ugly sobbing, snot face sobbing and shit. You know? Yeah. But it was like, but it felt good because it was all coming up with each sob, you know, and I like all this stuff was kind of replaying, like, and seeing the kind of the reasons of it and stuff like that, and the purpose of it, and you know, and it was crazy, powerful experience. But that same type of feeling that, like, you know, you don't want to leave it, you know, it's like you don't want to get out of it. And that's another thing I think too is important to say in the astral. You need to be aware, because just like there are good entities, you know, there are also, and it's like it's that what is good, bad, and you know what I mean. But there's entities that will pull you off of track, and kind of succubus energies and stuff like that. If you're not like aware and grounded, like, you know, you didn't want to leave. Like, imagine if you were in there and you got stuck and you didn't want to leave and you didn't come out of it, you know, because you're in this trap, you know, basically that's of something that feels so good you don't want to get out of it. Well, you know, you got to be able to be grounded still and be aware of different traps and snares and stuff in that.
But that's what made me question it, because there are entities like that will sell you a dream, and it comes at a price that you wasn't ready for and things like that. And he did mention earlier that he sometimes would feel like an evil presence in the room with him and things like that. So it is interesting, you know, like, is that really good and perfection, so to speak, and it's like a hug from your mom, or is that a trick, you know, one of those things trying to entice you?
I say before anything, like with all things, make sure you pray beforehand and stay prayed up, and always ask if it, you know, if it's in the name of Yeshua, you know, I mean, in the first place, if they don't come in his name, then you already know.
Absolutely.
You know, so that's the spiritual armor. Keep you protected in that, in your true self, true form, really. Because that's in the spirit, you know, or in the cosmic. That's your energy body. And dude, it really is like my first experience. It wasn't the first time it ever happened. It wasn't a natural natural induced thing. It was an accident. But that's what let me know that I wasn't my body, and that's kind of like what set a tone in my life too. It was a pivotal point for me because, you know, I was big into hallucinogens and shit when I was younger, right? And I had a time where I was eating a bag of mushrooms, and I thought I was eating a bag of popcorn. I was already kind of gone, and I was watching a movie, and I ended up eating a lot. And I was like 15, 16. I think I was just turned 16, and I had to go home for dinner. And I remember sitting at the dinner table, and it was like complete time dilation. I thought I had been there for hours, and I looked at the clock, and 1 minute had passed.
Oh, so shit!
So I'm like, I need to go lay down, and I went to go lay down. I was like trying not to pain, you know. I didn't want my parents, you know, my eyes were like fucking West Borland, and so I go lay down, and I'm laying there, and I had, you know, the little square light fixture on the ceiling, and it looked like a piece of butter in a skillet, and just starts going. So I'm laying there, I close my eyes, I said, okay, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep. And I was focused, like saying it over and over like a mantra almost. And next thing I know, it was like my body, I could feel this tingle, and I went through the whole thing, but I was already in such a altered state that I just came out. And I remember I had a boombox on my windowsill. I came out of my body, and I floated up on my ceiling. I was this like blue-gray mist, and I was watching my body laying in the bed, and my body kicked the boombox. Boombox flies on the floor, and it was like, I was just like, what, you know, it was like this kind of unreal, like, wow, like, what is this? You know what I mean? Like, I see myself laying on the bed, and all of a sudden the door opens, and my dad looks in, and he goes, everything all right? And I went and sucked right back into my body, you know, and I jumped up and looked over, and he's right. And I said, oh yeah, I just had a bad dream, you know. And I look over, and the boombox is on the floor, and I was like, what the fuck just happened?
Damn,
and that let me know, I was like, I'm not my body. I'm not, I'm not my body. Like, I could jump out of this shit. But yeah, that was it. Kind of set the tone for things, you know. Later in life, it took a while, like a lot of things to process at that, you know, especially at that age, you know. But it definitely a lot of things started kind of clicking later on that I was like, okay, that's why I went through this or went through that, you know. And man, but I'll never forget that shit, bro. That was one of the most like kind of eye-opening and craziest experiences of my life.
I have heard from others that talk about this, I have heard something called a tether, and where basically it helps you find your way back, and so you don't get lost and shit. That's scary.
Cord.
That's scary right there.
The silver cord, yeah, is what they call it, the silver cord. So it's like leading you back to your physical body. But it's like a blue-gray cloud almost. It's like this weightless cloud of just consciousness, and you're just aware. And it's like, what the heck? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You see yourself laying there, and it's like, it was intense, man. It was intense, but not as intense as breaking through it when you're not on fucking mushrooms. That's fucking intense, bro.
Yeah.
You know, the super duper hero's journey is one way to do it. But you know, actually doing it through going down the tunnel, or like he was talking about, is another. The tunnel, man, I'm telling you, it works every time. Like, I mean, it'll get you. It's up to you to break through the point, but it'll get you there. You know what I mean?
How often do you do it?
I hadn't done it in a while because I was doing like back in before 2020. Well, it's been about 5 years since I've done it, man. I need to start doing it again. But back when all the great conjunction and all that stuff was happening, I was still, you know, I was deep in meditating all the time and doing Wim Hof method, and I was in a lot better mental state too, you know, coincidentally, than I have been the past few years. So it's been like calling me again to get back to how I was. You know, I've been so consumed with work and trying to get out this cycle and do this, and it's like this constant kind of tug of war and trying to get in music and get this going and trying to break this damn perpetual hamster wheel that I've been on. But man, I was like, life had a spark to it back then again, man. Like, and I hadn't had, you know, I mean, I come from the life that I came from, and all of a sudden it was like I'm seeing all these synchronicities and the numbers, and you know, getting messages and downloads and having all these different realizations and things clicking. And I was, you know, deep in meditation and doing all this. I was in a lot better place. You know what I mean? And then 2020 was like, you know, it was like, all right, start preparing and, you know, getting more like on the prep side of stuff even more. And 2022 is when the real kind of storm for me started, and I haven't been really out of it since. But yeah, I think because lately I've been getting recharged a little bit, you know what I mean? And with all this course that I'm building and stuff, like, I'm like, dude, this it's cool. Like, I built this shit. Shit.
I've been watching you was controlling your lights with it earlier. Your LED
yeah, this
lights
one
and shit.
I got this one on the lights and shit, and RFID. I made this board though, man. I had to solder all these tiny ass little wires on it. And this is the NRF24, and then I got this one here is the CC1101. So one is RF and one is NRF24. But yeah, and they're interchangeable. And so, you know, learning all this cybersecurity stuff and all these different sensors and card computers and all this, man, it's cool, dude. It's got me. I'm like, I'm in it, not of it. I've always have my feelings about the tech stuff, you know what I mean? But we're going into this future, and I'd rather understand it and be able to fucking maneuver through it than be a victim of it. And once you realize how susceptible you are to all this shit, like just how vulnerable you really are, and you understand how all this information travels and all these different, you know, different things that like the inner workings of all this, it'll blow your freaking mind, dude. So I want to be able to understand it and maneuver through it and still be able to not have it be a ruler over me, or like a, you know, something that I exalt in any kind of way. You know what I mean? In and out of it, true. Like being able to maneuver through the tech and still take time out in nature and go get back on my meditation tip. Shit. This is dope, dude.
That one dude, what is his name?
Oh, Ryan Montgomery.
Ryan Montgomery. That's what I was about to say. Yeah. He's the one that he introduced me into a lot of this stuff, and then I seen you working with it, and I'm like, oh, he's doing that shit that Ryan Montgomery was talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, he's dope as fuck, dude. I love his mission too, man. He does all the exposing the, you know, the the Preds and the wood
Yeah.
chipper food and all that.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, dude. And I think he lives in Nashville, if I'm not mistaken. I'm like, dude, it'd be dope as fuck to run into him and be like, dude, let me be your protege, please.
He probably
Learn
don't
from you.
stay home very much, but yeah,
Right.
he does live in Nashville. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
man.
dedicated his life to this stuff, man. And I like
Yeah.
when he comes on this show right here, the Sean Ryan show. He's got a lot of cool shit on there.
And it's cool as shit because he's showing stuff. And like, you know, a year ago, I would have been like, oh, it would all been new to me. And he's showing stuff. And I'm like, oh, that's the blah, 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 blah. And that does this and Beyond Network. So it's like, damn, like, you know, when I think I'm not doing enough. And then I realize, man, I'm actually like way more, you know, ahead than I give myself credit than I thought I was.
That's
so
right.
it's cool when you're able to recognize those things, you know?
Yeah.
And that you can do that too if you want to join the course here at the Protector. I Learn with Luck Protector course. Is you know what Tor is, right? Like the Tor browser. Protector is the course.
Protector.
Yeah, Protector. Plugging it real quick. It ain't launched yet, but I mean it's up, but it's not fully ready yet.
It's coming, damn it.
Yeah, you damn right, brother.
Let's get through a little bit of this.
People showed up while I was in the box, and I was taking a nap because we had been working for quite a while. And this is months later. And they showed up to test me. So I got 2 targets, which I was tested on. And I did the 2 targets. Wrote it all out afterwards, and gave it to the representatives from the DOD. And after which they said, don't do this anymore.
Told him to stop doing it.
What is your reaction to that?
My reaction to that is, oh, you don't like the result.
Right.
So now I'm not supposed to do it anymore.
He didn't tell them what they wanted to
If it
hear.
had been the result you wanted, then I would be doing it some more. That's how I felt in my head and everything. The one target, the second target that I did.
Let me, if you don't mind, can I rewind?
Sure.
So you were poisoned in an assassination attempt. You had an out-of-body experience.
Yeah.
Then they wanted to study you in the wing of some psych ward or hospital or something under medical supervision.
I don't think it was study. I think they were trying to determine whether I had irreversible brain damage. Or whether or not I was still sane and straight.
From there, you went to be trained by Bob Monroe on out-of-body experiences.
No. From there, I finished a complete another tour.
Okay.
In Germany, northern Thailand, did some things in other countries, and then came back to the States, made warrant, was in charge of my MOS, and then recruited by the psychic program, developed my psychic abilities to the point that some have said it's the best in the world. And that's when they decided, well, maybe it would be even better if you could go out of body to a target.
Okay.
And collect data.
Let's stay in chronological order of.
See what I'm talking about? They encouraged him, and he was the first one to try to use that as an advantage in remote viewing.
If that's okay, I would like to revisit this. Why do you think that so many people who have out-of-body experiences, I've had several on the show who have had out-of-body experience in combat, from being shot in the head or leg blown off.
I can understand it.
Why do you think that? Why is it a near-death experience that seems to always trigger the initial out-of-body experience?
I think it's as close to death as you can ever come and still be here.
DMT releasing on your brain.
That's exactly what I was about to say. It's a DMT release, man. But basically, he just now said that having an out-of-body experience is the closest to death as you can come without actually being dead. It's
Right.
fucking crazy that he describes it that way, man. But it goes back to how scary it is and all that.
Yeah.
You know?
And think about it when you read NDEs versus OBEs, it's the same type, it's similar experiences, just different ways of inducing it. One is like induced through meditation or, some type of neuro linguistic, the sound things like the gate, the what's it called that I was telling you about earlier, the one where they hemisync or whatever. Or one is induced through almost dying and actually getting like knocked out of your body, basically. So like a traumatic event. So you're coming so close to death that you're you actually come out of your body before getting revived. So but the experiences themselves are pretty dang similar. Similar like explanation or not explanation description of the events, or of the experiences. Time being like not like how we experience it. Those are other things too. It's like you can be gone for and only a second that is passed. It's like the whole space and time thing. That's why they say with when you're in advanced like astral traveler, you can go anywhere in space and time and then just come back. That's fucking nuts. Like that's fucking goals, dude. Just to be able to go anywhere through any point, like to check the Akashic record. You know what I mean? Like have you read any of that stuff about the Akashic? Like every single thing that's ever happened is written in the Akashic records.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want real truth and knowledge and history of our past and stuff, that'd be the way to, you can't access it maybe in the physical realm, but we can dang sure access it through the spirit.
Well, he actually changed a part of written history, man, because I know it's something minor, but in Titanic, it was on record that whenever they discovered the iceberg before they hit it and they saw it, that there was 2 people up there, but there really was only one. The other gentleman was down in the kitchen getting some tea, and he had no idea what was about to happen and had no idea that it was coming. And he discovered that through remote viewing, and they rewrote the history books to go along with that because one of the people that was there or whatever had backed up that story and confirmed that it was true or whatever, man. But yeah, that's an example right there, man. It's crazy, the history and things like that. But one of the things that he's known for is that of course, he don't know what the target is. They just tell him, tell me about this,
Right.
And there was I guess a set of coordinates in an envelope or something. He was supposed to tell them about it. And there is a pyramid here that is, there's a cliff that puts off a shadow of a half an inch. And a half an inch shadow means that the cliff is 5,000 feet high. Okay. But this pyramid that's sitting at the edge of that cliff, and it's got this little triangle thing there to support it, puts off a 2.5 inch shadow. So that tells you how much taller it is than this 5,000 foot cliff that puts off a 1/2 inch shadow. And they figure out all this from the position of the sun and when the pictures was taken and blah, blah, this and blah, blah, that. But it turns out to be Mars, and it was 1 million BC was the time period that he was viewing. So they asked him, he didn't know what he was looking at, but he was looking at Mars 1 million BC, and there was some type of civilization there with this big giant pyramid and all this other stuff.
I think,
it's interesting, man. It's interesting. It's crazy.
Right. Yeah, because that's when they say that, like, I guess we kind of strip mined it or something like that, right? And brought it down to where it is now, and it's like about going those in power going planet to planet, basically strip mining them and of their resources, and that's when you think about Star Trek. My buddy and I were talking about that. When we think about Star Trek, what were they? They were going different places looking for resources, right? Like, wasn't that the whole thing with them going to find different civilizations and different resources? But I just had a little epiphany, man. When you were talking, I started thinking about if they were trying to fluoridate us so bad, the whole thing with the GATE program is they were trying to see who had, because I mean, for everybody I know that's in it has been a little bit more psychic than, you know, or been more in tune with things like that than normal people, right? Like, so that's the common thing is like all of us have those type of kind of extrasensory type things where we see things before they, you know, before they happen, or you have dreams or visions and stuff like that, where you can travel or different things, you know what I mean? We seem to be those that are more inclined to try to do stuff like that. And from what I've witnessed. So that makes me
sense,
wonder. Yeah. So it makes me wonder if they're trying to make sure, if you're trying to cover up history, if you're the one that wrote the history books and you have a threat that's coming through, that it will be able to jump beyond the physical realm and see those history that you can't cover because you can't cover the Akashic. You can only cover the physical. So if all of a sudden you have a wave of individuals that are more inclined to try to access those things because they have certain gifts or certain talents that they're able to use. So if you know the whole thing with your seat of the soul, the pineal gland, and the calcification of that using the fluoride. I mean, to go have us gargle fluoride foam every single day, all the time. I mean, it was a lot. Now I know it was a lot. I don't know if it was every day. It was a fucking lot. I remember, and I was like, oh, it's so good. It tasted like bubble gum.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
you know, yeah. So, man, I mean, it's like obviously they were trying to calcify that. You know, I mean, they weren't worried about our teeth. That's for fucking sure. We know that.
That's right.
So it makes me wonder if because that's the seat of the soul, that your pineal gland is the DMT and everything is formed, and that's, you know, your imagination and your seat of, you know, being able to connect with God and all that stuff, right? So if you're trying to calcify that, you're trying to break that bridge. You're trying to break that bridge so that those that are able to go access these records that you can't cover from your book burnings and your, you know, library and all this stuff, the Vatican that they hid all the knowledge in. Well, if you're able to jump outside and go see it, well, if they could sever that connection, then you can.
Right.
If they can get you, you know, more inclined to a life of drug use and think you'll probably end up dying of an overdose, or, you know, end up in prison for the rest of your life, he won't be a threat anymore. You know, it's that I don't know. It's like it's fucking pretty dang clear when I'm looking in hindsight, and the fact of how everything kind of unfolded. It's like. And it's not, if it was just me, it would be like, okay, that's kind of a one-off thing, but it's so many of us, dude. Like there's tons and tons of us, the people that have the same kind of backstory. So yeah,
that's right.
I think there was definitely an agenda, like undeniably, man.
Absolutely. And I mean, let's be real here. There's zero fucking evidence that fluoride does anything to help your teeth and all that stuff. You know what I mean? And if they were that concerned about it, they could have made it a fucking law or something that you have to brush your teeth or something like that. But we live in a free country to where we have the choice to drink alcohol or not and things like that, you know? So we have the choice to brush our teeth or not. So if we want to use this thing that you say is good for our teeth, we should have a choice instead of you saying, here it is, take it. You have no other choice, you know, because let's be real here. Getting toothpaste that don't have fluoride in it is expensive. And it's not easy to avoid it 100%. You know, you got to go out of your way to do that, you know?
Right. But see, we did have a choice. That's why they made it taste like bubble gum.
Yeah.
Because if we would have been like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not taking that. It's good, right? You like it? Yeah. Oh, shit. I love this. This is delicious. This is fucking good.
Right.
Yeah. It's like all those things, the same reason that those, you know, medicines for kids is, I know it's easier to go down, but it's so they get used to taking things when, you know, oh, my head hurts. Let me take this or this, and then, you know, all these things are having an effect on that stuff, man. So, yeah, dude. There's what was the other thing? You said something, and it made me think. It'll come back to me.
Basically, how you got to go out of your way to avoid it, because they put it in the water and all kinds of shit, man. I mean, it's not easy to avoid fluoride 100%. And you know what I mean.
And it causes fluorosis, man. It actually like causes your teeth to get those spots. You know, if you look up fluorosis, it's like because it tears up the enamel on your teeth, man.
Gotcha.
So it causes fluorosis and causes your teeth to be brittle and break down. And they've shown that. I mean, that, you know, it's like they're not doing it because they care about it. Same reason they put pests. It's not for, it's all to keep us sick and relying on their petroleum-based fucking pharmaceuticals. And if you speak up too loud, you know, and make too much noise, then like you remember the whole wave of holistic doctors that was getting knocked off during COVID, right? It was like every couple of days, it was like one was getting robbed and killed, or you know, hit by a car, or fucking all type of weird shit. And the same thing with the food processing plants. Over 111 food processing plants were burned down, even a couple times getting hit by airplanes, fucking all type of shit. So it's like, you know, attack on the farm, the food, and the all that stuff. Attack on all around, man. We're getting hit from all sides, and more and more people are seeing it now. But I think there's still a ways to go before we get out of it. You know what I mean? Because it's so intertwined with. I mean, we're so, even those of us that are like looking for off-grid living and trying to get more like that and are more conscious of those things. It's still hard to be out of the system. You have to operate in it to some extent, in some fashion. You know what I mean?
And you never know, man. Like, look, they had all those campaigns back when I was younger. I'm sure you probably remember it too, where it had the commercials. It was like milk. It does a body good. And extra calcium to build strong bones and all that. But they look at countries that don't have access to milk because we're the only people that continue to drink milk after infancy. You know, all the other species of animals and shit only drink milk during infancy. But we continue to drink it after infancy. But they got all these other countries that don't have access to milk, and they have lower rates of bone disease than the main first world countries that do have access to milk, which makes it look like that milk is actually hurting your bones and causing bone disease instead of preventing it, like they all had put campaigns in for so long. And another example would be fat and saturated fat. How they would talk bad about fat back in the day and act like you shouldn't have fat and free of saturated fat and low cholesterol and da-da-da-da, when really sugar was the problem all along, bro. Fat is good for you in moderation and shit. And sugar's been an issue for years, but the sugar industry put out this misinformation about fat, and then, you know, milk putting out all this shit where it's going to help your bones and everything else. It's, you never know, man, you know? And if those things are true, why would these other things, how could they not be possible, you know?
Exactly, dude. Exactly. I mean, if they're doing it on one hand, it's going to be on pretty much everything that they're telling you is going to be the opposite. Now with the milk thing, like you were saying, if you have raw milk, that's highly beneficial, but that's why they made it illegal, you know, and telling people you can't drink raw cow's milk. You know, you can do a cow share and all that type of stuff, but goat's milk and raw goat's milk and raw cow's milk, raw goat's milk especially, is super, super beneficial. But the homogenization and the pasteurization is what messes it up. So the homogenization is what causes osteoporosis, because it makes your bones brittle. They said gives you strong bones. That's bullshit. It does the opposite. It depletes the calcium out of your bones because it's missing the phosphorus and all that stuff. So it actually draws the calcium out of your bones because of the homogenization. The pasteurization kills all the good bacteria and all the good stuff in there that, you know, especially like if you don't, the whole, what is it, K2 or whatever it is, milk or something, whatever. It's that A2 milk, not K2. A2 milk or whatever. It's that A2 enzyme that certain cows have, that people that are lactose intolerant, they can drink A2 milk because it has that beneficial enzyme. Well, I mean, it's, you know, the thing with the milk is all that those enzymes are gone because they pasteurize it and heat it up to this high temperature to kill all that shit. And same thing with the fat. That's why people are having so much good results off of getting in ketosis and keto diets, and you know, but cutting out sugar. It's not. There's a lot of the keto diet shit that's not. Because my wife was keto, you know, and she still is, but she it's not like she's like real food keto. She wasn't all this like, you know, keto bread and shit like that that's made out of rice flour and stuff. Like she just ate real food. Like if it was in a package, you don't eat it. It's basically like paleo keto. You know, where it's like you eat real food, nothing that's processed, nothing that's in a box or in a bag, you know, and that's how it should be. And the fat, the good fat, man, your brain is mostly fat. So that's why people have memory loss, all this type of stuff. And people that take fish oil all of a sudden have such good benefits, is because that good omegas and all that stuff. Like avocado oil, you know, good oils, not these damn seed oils and crap, like real olive oil, like virgin cold pressed virgin olive oil and all that. That stuff is fucking great for you. Taking a little shot of that every day, man. You know, because your brain is literally mostly fat. So if you're taking statins and all these different things, like you're literally like shriveling your brain up, man. It's crazy. The memory dementia and Alzheimer's and all that stuff from that, because your brain is being depleted of what it's made of. You know, all that low fat shit was such a fucking scam, dude. But the thing is, most of it is like
absolutely
bad fats. That's the thing, is most of it is bad fats.
Right.
That you know, our standard SAD diet, standard American diet, is all the saturated fats and like canola oils and fucking vegetable oils, which, you know, not to mention all the vegetable oils byproducts of, you know, probably pesticide ridden fucking vegetables. So, you know.
Bro, you gonna live to be 200 years old. you smart with this stuff, bro. You smart.
I hope not.
Hey, but it is a good thing to where you look at those people that are in their 70s and 80s and they look like they're 40, and it's because of taking care of themselves and all that, and they're avoiding drifting into senility and Alzheimer's and shit like that. You know, I mean, it's a real thing, man. You put bad shit into your body, you're gonna get bad results out of it, man.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
Just like you put the wrong fuel in your car, you know, it might work a little bit, but it's not, and it's going to go out. Your body is, you know, what you put in it is your fuel. Like literally, when you think about it on a molecular level, like you literally are what you eat. It's what breaks down and breaks the building blocks of your body. So if you're eating fucking shit, it's the seed oils are storing fat in weird places. The fucking, you know, sunflower oil is like, you know, people that have like, in storing fat in weird places. It's like, I never used to have this. Well, it's the dang seed oils. The seed oils literally alter your DNA, man. That shit is fucking terrible for you. And now even all the health food, that's the crap. Like all that health foods, snacks and all that shit is such a fucking scam. The first ingredient almost in all these healthy products, if you go to Sprouts or even look at Kroger and shit like that, I stay out the fucking grocery store, man. Like, I'm telling you, it's all the shit is fucking seed oils. It's all healthy, you know, but then the first ingredient, sunflower oil, or you know, it's crazy, dude. It's like, that's the fucking problem. It's the goddamn seed oils.
And it's tough, man, because the doctor will, you know, don't eat any processed food and on this and only that, and it's tough, man. You know. Especially if you're super busy, because you don't have the time to prepare a meal 3 times a day and shit like that, you know. You got to kind of get what you can get and don't put your fit. So it's tough, man. It really, the odds are stacked against us. They make it tough on purpose.
Exactly. But if you get into meal prep, and that's a loophole, right? I need to do it more, but the times that I do it, then I'll actually eat a good healthy meal. You know, normally I don't even eat dinner. I have my big ass smoothie in the morning, and then I'll end up working on the computer once I get home from work and falling asleep here before I, you know, actually eat. So that's been my issue, is actually eating. I end up fasting most of the time and just having my giant powerhouse smoothie, you know. This is what keeps me going. So, but when I meal prep, like when I actually, like on Sunday, I'll cook a big ass like pot of like good, you know, good kind of stew or something, and or some chili or something like that, and I'll eat it every week. I mean, every day that week. You know, so that's one way to do it. I know it gets kind of boring, but if you make something good that you like, you know, at least for 3 or 4 days, that'll cut down on a lot of that, the time consuming aspect of eating healthy. Just make a lot at once, you know, and do it all in one chunk.
Microwave popcorn is amazing, ain't it, British Bulldog?
Man, stove pop is better. You don't want to radiate that shit.
It's true, man.
Yeah,
it's true.
Stove pop tastes so much better anyway. Popcorn, like when you got the little fucking roasted ones at the bottom from the stove and the butter. And shit. That's way better anyway. It takes a few more minutes, but you know, that's the thing. They sell us on convenience, man. It's all sold on convenience.
Yeah.
Everything is, you know, we'll trade the trade-off for things that we know, you know, aren't good for us. Well, it only take 30 seconds if I do it this way, or a minute this way. It's going to take me 5 minutes if I do it on the stove. And 5 minutes is going to make a difference with your health, you know.
And I can't lie, man. I'm a sucker for barbecue. I eat a lot of barbecue and mac and cheese and shit like that, man. I should eat healthier than I do.
Man, if you get real like raw cheese, raw cheddar, and you get new pasta noodles that are made with pure Seminella wheat or Durham wheat or some some kind of good ancient grain that's a single. I mean, it's only grain and water is what makes pasta. So
Yeah,
or egg too, some whatever egg noodles. But I mean, you don't have to have 50 different ingredients for the pasta. So it's not, like the noodles I have, man, they're $1.96 a bag, and I get 2 full meals out of it, 2 big meals, and they're just that sorghum flour or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So if you do that and then, make your own pasta sauce or something with tomatoes, then you're getting veggies, as long as you're not getting some ragu,
Right.
I got some tomatoes I canned like 2 years ago, and I used them. I still got a couple cans left, making a good pasta sauce or something with that.
Oh yeah.
Olive oil, good Parmesan, and man, yeah, dude. So pasta and mac and cheese and shit can be healthy if you're getting good quality noodles and actual like good quality cheese and moderation. You don't have to eat like a fucking prude and be like eating carrots and celery sticks all day, but
right.
You can eat healthy and still, but if you can be vegetarian and eat unhealthy as shit and eat fucking cheese pizzas every day. That's vegetarian.
Right.
So, or, fried, fake 3D printed fucking tofu fucking strips. You're vegetarian.
Campbell soup. He got a toad on himself, didn't he?
It's fucking crazy, man. That's probably the least of our concerns with our food supply. 3D printed. It's the soil and green people got to worry about. Exactly, Josh. Cheese pizza is vegetarian.
Can it be generated? Yeah, you could generate it.
Yep.
But only within limited circumstances in terms of targeting something. The second target I did is a good example. They gave me a picture of a building, and they said, we're not going to tell you where this building is. Your charge here, the mission, A, find the building. Once you found it, country, nobody cares. Find this building. Once you find the building, go to I can't remember, it was second or third floor, pass through the wall, go down the hallway, find the bank vault door, pass through the vault door into we'll call it a lab. Go to the northwest corner and there's a table, and on the table is an object. Push your face into the object, collect as much data as you can, wake yourself up and draw it to detail in scale on a piece of paper. That was my mission. It took me 2.5 weeks of out of bodies just to find the building.
Damn, 2.5 weeks.
And when I found the building, it took 3 or 4 out of bodies to get to the vault room. But I was finally able to pass through the vault door, which is an experience in itself.
The vault door.
Passing through a vault door, you can actually feel it. It's like peeling your way through an onion.
Wow.
With your molecular shape. I don't know how to explain that. But it's like you can feel every molecule as you pass through it.
Wow.
I don't think it's so much the material as it's the denial of access.
Oh, okay.
That does that to you. I can't explain it. But you get inside the room and you go to the northwest corner. I'm not sure I was at the northwest corner. I just went to wherever the table was. And there was an object about this size on the table, and I pushed my face into it, and I memorized it in detail. Tried to understand how the parts interworked with each other, that kind of thing. And then woke myself up, and I went in. I had a drafting table, in my home, and I drew a detailed picture of it. And I rolled it up, put it in a tube, and mailed it to the people that had tasked me. They came out some weeks later, 2 guys, and they said, we have some questions we want to ask you. And I said, fine. They said, where did you take high energy physics? And I said, I have never taken high energy physics anywhere. Okay, who do you know that's a high energy physicist? And I said, I know one guy, Ed May. He's my good buddy from the lab, LFR, Laboratories for Fundamental Research. I've known him in the remote viewing area since I started.
So it seems like they're questioning him because they think that he's lying. They think that he's a high energy physicist or some shit.
I said, I know him. He's a low energy physicist. I don't know any high energy physicists. Okay. Where do you check your books out? What libraries? And I was like, oh, come on. I'm starting to think, you don't believe what I did. You think I just psychically figured out what it was, and I've asked people in detail about it. No, we just really want to know where you sign your books out. So I gave them permission letters to go to the 2 libraries I used and ask, what books did he sign out? That sort of thing. I think they were very badly misled when they saw what books I signed out. So I got the idea that they didn't believe what happened, and it pissed me off. So I said I could build something better than what I saw.
What did you see?
A trigger.
I'm not sure. Some kind of a trigger or something.
For
a device of some kind. I don't know. But I knew I could build one better just by going into light fiber. This was a copper wire thing. I said I could speed it up 100,000 times with light fiber. In fact, I could make it so fast it would get warm when it runs, or hot even, and melt down. So I'd have to put it in an acrylic cube and run coolant through it. So I did all that, and I drew it in detail, but it was down to about twice the size of a pack of cigarettes.
Twice the size of a pack of cigarettes. That's interesting.
And I drew it to scale in detail with lots of notes and stuff. The big thing was there was a trigger in it. I don't know if there are certain things that if you put too much power to them, it'll kill a city. You know, it'll shut all the power down. It's like the big lights over a football field. If you just snap a switch and turn them all on at one time, the city goes dead, goes dark. So they have these switches that are slow build switches. They come on very slowly, and the lights come on very dim, and they start brightening, and eventually they come up to operating speed. That way the light doesn't explode when it's suddenly lit and all the power is going to the lights and that sort of thing. Well, I needed one of those switches, and I couldn't find one.
Stream unavailable.
3 or 4 different.
Yeah, I knew that was going to happen.
Why? What, we got bumped for?
It'll come back, man. I played it too long without pausing it. That's all it does. Yeah, it'll come back. I was about to end that part anyway, man. I was almost to the end of that part. No big deal.
Yeah, some good topics tonight, brother. I'm glad you got Eric to reach out, man. You got my info? You got my number?
I don't know.
You don't have Facebook, do you?
No, I don't ever get on Facebook.
Okay. Yeah, get my shit. I was gonna say I'll tell Eric to give you my number.
Yeah, do that. I got his number. Yeah.
All right. Screw tube.
Hell, we ain't live here. I'll put it in the back chat for you. I'll put it in the private chat. I'll give you my number so that way you can message me.
All right, bet.
There you go. Yeah, I put it in the back chat for you.
The back chat? Where's the...
It says private
here.
chat over there. Can
Oh,
you see
I
it?
see it. Okay, yeah, that's on this phone. Gotcha.
You see that?
Yup, I got it.
That way you could save it. But yeah, this happened the other night, man. And I just waited a couple minutes and it came back on. But fuck, I was about to end it anyway.
I knocked myself out, that motherfucker. Trying to save the number, and I was like, what the hell did I just do? Yeah.
We remote viewing. They said they remote view. Yeah, it came back. Hell, I'm surprised it ain't already back up. It came back pretty quick the other night. Oh, well. But yeah, you got my number, man.
That's V that just called. Did you get it?
We're back on now, bro.
Whoa. Huh?
We're back live now.
Are we?
Yeah. You skipping a little bit.
My
Was that you?
messed up. Something's funny.
Was that you that just called me?
Yeah.
All right, cool. I got you.
My volume's messed up for some. I might have to. Let me get out and jump back in.
All right. I was just about to pause it too. No, it's all good, man. I let it run a little bit longer than I wanted to. Any damn way. Let's play a song.
See my. There we go.
Keep my shades on in front of these faded eyes and try to keep it somewhere in between the lines. I keep my rays on even when the stars are out and keep my headlights pointing on this road and down.
Y'all been waiting on this. Now what? To say bye-bye, big jacked up trucks and mud ties. Small town boy with an empire, built with skill and deep desire. Hard work, y'all can't imagine. See them hats and boots, we changing fast. By breathing dragons, couldn't stop me from getting it back independently. We flew the flag, red, white, and blue. Put on for Nashville, how Titans do. Stay family friendly, didn't cost too much. Now it's 30 racks when the bus pull up. I could build a house with stacks of paper. Boots exotic, alligator, innovator, culture changer, synonymous with country bangers. Wasn't overnight, had to build a dream. Now it's Rolling Stone, Reward Magazine, Golf Digest, Field of Stream, Platinum hits, 10 billion streams. Never wait in line when I'm at Aldean's. Probably cause I'm with Aldean. Showed them all love, got a gang of haters. Now I watch them close through my aviators.
Keep my shades on in front of these faded eyes and try to keep it somewhere in between the lines.
Ride around the city in a black Cadillac, yeah, just like one of my country heroes. Let the buckshot spray, hit the old stop sign with the sawed off bump.
I keep my rays on even when the stars are out and keep my headlights pointing on this road and down.
Yeah, ride around the city in a black Cadillac, yeah, just like one of my country heroes. Let the buckshot spray, hit the old stop sign with the sawed off bump and reload. Yeah, I come from the the hill, not the Cypress Hill, but the hill on the Alabama stars. But I'm as well as be real, boy, you better have faith in the hill like Tim McGraw. Been with the boys like Bob with the bar, from Big Crit to Kendrick Lamar. You better do some research, fuck a t-shirt, give a bitch a knee jerk like yeah, I kick a double entendre in a 2-ton truck in a Mandel suit, yellow with the middle finger and a thumb up. Menopause, motherfucker, we go dumb. Menopause hit the rewind button. I been on they neck like a button-up shirt all the way button. This ain't Nickelback, can't get a refund. This ain't a pickleback, I don't ever chase none. How could I chase y'all but the way that I run? When God made me, he shot a track me gun. I don't leave bread, just leave crumbs. I left my trail in all my albums. Yeah, jumping the Maybach with they shade glasses. That's just money off Pop the Trunk.
Shades on in front of these faded eyes and try to keep it somewhere in between the lines.
Run around the city in a black Cadillac, yeah, just like one of my country heroes. Hit the buckshot spray, hit the old stop sign with the sawed off block.
Shades on even when the stars are out and keep my headlights pointing on this road now.
Yeah, run around the city in a black Cadillac, yeah, just like one of my country heroes. Hit the buckshot spray, hit the old stop sign with the sawed off block and reload.
What's up? What's
I'm
up?
back. I'm back. My bad. Yeah, Allie, Creole Queen got a new job and she has a different schedule than what she has had. So yeah. But man, I hate to cut it short, but I'm gonna have to jump off here, bro.
All right, man. It was good hanging with y'all.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm glad you came to chill with me, man. I didn't get through a whole lot of the video, but we had some damn good conversation, and that's better than watching the video all day long. So I appreciate you,
Yeah,
for real.
Oh, likewise, bro.
Yes,
Good
sir.
talk,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Good talk. Appreciate y'all, chat. Good hanging with y'all.
Absolutely. Everybody have a great night. It's been that Hickerbilly shit, y'all. I hate to cut it short, but I got some shit that just came up, man. I'm gonna have to jump off here.
No worries, brother. I gotta get work.
Oh shit. You already know what time it is. It's that Hickerbilly shit. Hickerbilly shit. We just out here in the sticks. On some fuck around and find out if you wanna run your lips. Hickerbilly shit. We just vibing in the mix. Blowing on that top shelf. Nothing less than a zip. Smoke some weed, boy. Hickerbilly shit. We just out here in the sticks. On some fuck around and find out if you wanna run your lips. Don't do it. Hickerbilly shit. We just vibing in the mix. Blowing on that top shelf. Nothing less than a zip. HB shit. Man, they never saw us coming. Just a bunch of no shit. Taking rowdy country bumpkin. We speaking real loud for the folks who come from nothing. Putting fakes in their place. Calling out that country bluffing. If you ain't really real, then you really gotta go. If you know, then you know. If you don't know, you won't. Cause knowledge ain't wisdom, man. That requires soul. Spread the light, kill the dark. That's the #1 goal. Can't know these fake country boys hang with the Hickerbillies. Out here stuck in first gear while we laughing, riding wheelies. Hickerbilly shit. We just out here in the sticks. On some fuck around and find out if you wanna run your lips. Hickerbilly shit. We just vibing in the mix. Blowing on that top shelf. Nothing less than a zip. Smoke some weed, boy. Hickerbilly shit. We just out here in the sticks. On some fuck around and find out if you wanna run your lips. Don't do it. Hickerbilly shit. We just vibing in the mix. Blowing on that top shelf. Nothing less than a zip.
I keep a bag of the sticky icky. Come on, you can hit it with me. I kick it with Hickerbilly for real, so don't get it twisted. I don't give a fuck about recognition for Jack Rabbit. I'm here for the home team. Let's get to the bag, damn it. I feel like I was born to do it. I spit the flame in these verses, they keep pouring through me. I know the game, I was born and raised up in the bricks. I felt the pain, Tennessee be a crucifix. And there I hang on that Hickerbilly shit.
We just out here in the sticks. On some fuck around and find out if you wanna run your lips. Hickerbilly shit. We just vibing in the mix. Blowing on that top shelf. Hickerbilly shit. We just out here in the sticks. On some fuck around and find out if you wanna run your lips.
Don't do it.
Hickerbilly shit. We just vibing in the mix, blowing on the top shelf. Nothing less than a zip.
You can fuck around and find out about the Hickerbilly shit the wrong way. We been posted up in the woods with some sticks, yeah, bitch, like all day. And we don't care about what you say, that jibber jabber, it don't really matter. All that bro talk, it's just pitter patter. About to raise the bar, you better get a ladder. We on it, blasting off straight to the top. Don't give a fuck, you could like it or not. Every day out here we punching the clock. Out in the country, nobody's in chalk. Yeah, we really out here on a music making mission. If you're really looking for me, then you can find me fishing. We on that Hickerbilly shit.
We just out here in the sticks. On some fuck around and find out if you wanna run your lips. Hickerbilly shit. We just vibing in the mix. Blowing on that top shelf. Nothing less than a zip.
Smoke some weed, boy.
Hickerbilly shit. We just out here in the sticks. On some fuck around and find out if you wanna run your lips.
Don't do it.
Hickerbilly shit. We just vibing in the mix. Blowing on that top shelf. Nothing less than a zip.
That's that Hickerbilly shit, motherfuckers. Country rap better watch out. We coming out the woods to get ya.
Coming to get your ass, motherfucker. Better watch out for them leaf piles, y'all. Everybody have a good night, man.
Much love, y'all.